Hello, everyone, and welcome to another small screen Star Wars. As always, I'm Julian Misha. I'm joined by Rachel Wilkinson.
Hi.
Sorry, you should
Sorry,
move over
I'm
this
moving
way.
over. Yeah, I was like, I guess I'm not in this,
That's my
shot.
bad.
All good.
We
We're
are
good.
here to talk about Maul, Shadow Lord,
Mhm.
chapters 3 and 4.
Yes.
Chapters 3 and 4, they're titled, I have those titles here, Whispers in the Unknown for chapter 3, and, of course, everyone knows my favorite, Pride and Vengeance, not to be confused with Pride and Prejudice.
Yeah.
Or Pride and, if you want to do the Pride and Vengeance. Vengeance? Is that how prejudice? I don't know. Anyway, that's a bad joke. We're going to be talking about those in great detail. Before that, I have a couple news pieces that we can touch on quickly.
Oh,
Had a little bit more time to put that together. And then that's it. We'll be back next week.
Yeah.
With more Maul Shadow Lord. It's have you heard the critical and fan reception has been quite high? People are enjoying.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
No, I tend to not. You know how I am. I don't.
You don't look at you don't like to read the trades.
No, no. Not that I don't like to read the trades. I guess I don't.
I'm just kidding. That's just a thing that people in the industry say. Yeah.
I guess I just maybe I have too much underlying like ick
from the fandoms,
from negativity, so I just like don't want to feed into it a lot of the time. But no, that's good. I'm glad people are liking it. I'm not surprised people are liking it because it's not a difficult.
It's all the
show
things
to
that
like,
all the worst people would like, which is kind of a problem, I guess.
Yeah. So far, there's really only like 2 girl characters, so people can't be that mad. So.
And do they talk to each other? I don't think so.
No,
I don't think
they
it
have
passes the
not.
Bechdel test.
No, they have not. Well, I guess why would they speak to each other yet?
It's the rule is I think has to have 2 female characters with speaking parts that talk to each other or talk to another woman about something that's not a man.
Yeah, it can't be like relationship related.
Yeah,
or like,
exactly.
Yeah.
So no, so far the show does not hold up to that.
But isn't that Lord of the Rings is really bad for it?
Oh, totally.
They show that clip. It's like, oh, here are all the portions in Lord of the Rings where 2 female characters talk to each other. It's like 2 extras.
It's like 2 seconds.
It's like, here, take a blanket.
Yeah, it's really it's funny.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, I didn't actually realize that.
You know, here's the thing. Maul Shadow Lord has 100% on Rotten Tomatoes and 95% of the popcorn meter, which is the
That's good.
I can't remember which one's what. The tomato meter is critical reception and the popcorn meter is fan reception, I think,
yes.
right?
Yes, usually.
So obviously that's pretty impressive.
That's
That
great,
means that all the reviews have been positive. Not that all the reviews are 10 out of 10. They're all positive reviews.
That's good. Actually, you know what? Sorry to go back. We're wrong because the Death Watch girl and Devin have spoken to each other. So there we go.
Oh yeah, that's true.
So
kind
we're
of.
fine.
I mean,
they've interacted.
Did they speak? She literally just nods at her today.
Yeah,
in this
I don't know. I
episode.
think she goes, go that way or come here. I don't know. Whatever.
I don't
Either
know
way,
if that counts.
They speak to each other.
I don't know if half of a sentence counts really.
But yeah, no, that's good that there's a lot of positive Rookcast. Yes, looks like there's a lot of positivity. I'm here for it. But again, I don't think we've
it
seen
doesn't
anything.
solve anything because it's like, oh well, they made a show that's all dark and gritty and violent,
And people like it.
and then people like it. It's like, well, shocker.
But I feel like Bad Batch had relatively very good reviews too.
Yeah, people like Bad Batch.
Yeah, like in terms of like the Lucasfilm's animation, I don't think has had as big of a problem.
Not since Rebels.
Yeah.
Which
I love.
A lot
Rebels,
of people love
though.
Rebels. I'm not
So,
saying
like,
I don't. It just looks like crap, but that's fine.
I know.
But anyway, yeah.
The
so
storyline and the characters are great. People adore Kanan.
Yes, that's true.
Apparently, it's a green flag if a man says Kanan Jarrus is his favorite Jedi.
Okay, according to what? According to a TikTok?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
They're like green flag if Kanan Jarrus. They're red flag if they identify with any Anakin other than the Clone Wars Anakin.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. I was like,
there's
true,
that
though.
Anakin. Well, Anakin specifically. There's a Revenge of the Sith connection in this first batch of the episode. Well, it's a musical one, which is always my favorite. So yeah, I don't know. It's the jury's still out on the toxic fandom, I guess. I would say that there's this one podcast I listen to that is like, why should they get to be called fans? If they don't like anything, why should they be called fans?
They're haters.
And I kind of agree with that, but
Yeah.
that's for a conversation for another time.
That's true. It's like, at what point do you turn from a fan to a hater? Like, how many negative reviews are you allowed to bomb
I don't know.
or write until you're just not a fan anymore?
Like, yeah, they were talking about She-Hulk, and She-Hulk was apparently was a relative success for them.
Yeah,
for
I
Disney,
liked She-Hulk.
but
I
everyone
thought it was
hated it so
funny.
much, and it was review bombed, and they were like, and I don't know, it's this whole thing. So
I can't.
I kind of like
trends.
She-Hulk.
I liked it. I thought it
Yeah.
was like kind of quirky and a little
It's a
different.
comedy series. It was
and
funny. I don't know.
It breaks the fourth wall a lot, right?
Yeah.
And that one, I liked
It
that.
doesn't like the CG is pretty bad, but like whatever, it's fine.
Yeah.
A different tone. People don't. If something's light and airy, people don't like it unless it's like a sitcom. Okay, so let's get into some news. Before I do that, though, a couple points of housekeeping. If you want to help support the show, please do so by heading over to patreon.com/Tower Babblecast. We do a monthly film club. It's not always Star Wars related, obviously. This month we're doing Taxi Driver, and I'm curious if there's a 4K release of that movie. So we'll see. Matt and I will do that over on the main feed, the Tower Babble podcast. I'm also looking to record with Matt on the weekend, so hopefully there'll be another regular TOB episode up within the next week or so. And head over to the website, towerbabble.ca, to find everything we do. You can find all the podcasts there, any links to anything relevant, where we are on Blue Sky, Tower Babble Podcast on Blue Sky. We're on Facebook. Speaking of the boomers, we were talking about the boomers before we started. Sorry if you're a boomer and listening to this. It's
Should we?
you guys cause a lot of problems.
Do we need to be on Threads? Is that something?
No, we
somewhere
don't.
need to
No
be?
one needs to be on Threads.
I've been getting pulled into Threads again lately.
It's because it's all traps and bait.
It's okay, but the thing is, it's kind of switched a little bit now, where it's like you'll see a weird whatever thread, whatever you want to call it, and you'll be like, why is that showing up? But it's because of the comments. So when you open the comments are really fucking funny.
Okay.
And it's all people who like align, and you're like, oh, I get why I'm here now.
It's a pile. It's a pylon.
It's a pylon, but it's always like very like funny people. I'm like,
That's
man,
funny.
people on the internet are actually like really.
They can't
really
when
funny.
they're not upset about everything. They can be
Yeah,
really funny. Yeah.
but it's usually just trolling
Mhm.
people who are making like rage bait posts or whatever.
That is funny.
But,
I appreciate
so I'm
that.
like, okay, it's kind of done a bit of a switch. It's not as much of just people like rage baiting anymore, but it's a lot of
We love to see
people
it.
getting just made fun of.
Well, that's
Like,
good.
okay.
Maybe Meta's kind of turned the knob on their algorithm
Yeah.
to improve it.
At least
okay.
mine.
I don't know. All right, let's. One more thing. We're live on Twitch and YouTube, so if you want to help watch us live, join the chat, all that stuff. Solo Cocaine in the chat saying what's up.
Oh.
Speaking of which,
Hello.
interesting name. Do you think it's solo in reference to the movie, or like doing
don't
cocaine on
know.
their own? Anyway,
Who knows? Could be
it's hard
either.
to say. Twitch and YouTube, you can find us Tower Babble Podcast on either one. Subscribe, and then you'll get notified when we go live. For this show, we're aiming to go live Tuesdays or Wednesdays, to post either Wednesdays or Thursdays up on the feed. Okay, let's get into the news. There's a little bit of news here. So we already mentioned the critical and fan reaction to Maul has been good, which is great. But on the live action side, things are less good. Word on the street is that the Mandoverse is over. It's and the Mandoverse
Already?
being that it's like a failed experiment. Which I don't know. So Disney's in the process of laying off like 1,000 people right now, mostly in marketing positions. But we're talking about a company that like unless something makes $1 billion, is like seen as like a failure. It seems like
Right.
it does. It's giving corporate greed. Anyway, the Mandoverse started with The Mandalorian. It was the first live action TV show for Star Wars. Huge hit, right? 3 seasons, and then they weren't sure. They've written a 4th season, but then instead of making that, they made this Mandalorian Grogu movie because they're
Right.
like, well, we want to make movies again, which is fine because they dropped the ball on that front with the release of Episode 9, which sucked butts. And then they haven't made a movie in like almost 10 years already again. So it's like, okay, let's refocus on that. Apparently, the Starfighter movie is like a soft relaunch.
Mhm.
Oh, okay, so clarifying that it's not anything to do with Star Wars. It's just about doing cocaine on your own. Fair enough. More power to you.
You do you.
I hear spice is great.
Yeah.
Have you been to Obadiah?
Or death sticks.
Death sticks. Yeah. You want to go home and rethink your life. So we also got, obviously, there's lots of, I'm trying to do the whole background here. So Mando then spun off, there was going to be a whole bunch of shows, right? We got Book of Boba Fett, which had like 2 secret Mandalorian episodes in it. And then there was supposed to be the Rangers of the New Republic, but then there was a whole bunch of follow-up because of Gina Carano situation.
Right.
Turns out she sucked. So they canceled that show, and then they put some secret episodes of that show into season 3 of The Mandalorian. And so anyway, it all got mushed together. Ahsoka also incorporated into all that. We have Ahsoka season 2 coming soon, but the word on the street is that will be the end of the Mandoverse. There might still be one more movie potentially. The Heir to the Empire movie is still potential somewhere along the line, but with Dave Filoni taking on the larger creative side of Lucasfilm, that he might have the bandwidth to direct that movie. So maybe that turns to something else.
Why is Ahsoka and Heir to the Empire like Thrawn? Why does that Mandoverse? To me, Thrawn isn't Mandoverse.
Because that's all happening in the same
timeline.
Frame. Yeah,
I guess fair.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, there's tons of characters that are around, I guess, at that time. It doesn't necessarily make the
Mandoverse is just
there.
all the shows that were spun off of that original Mandalorian show, and that's all. They're all spin-offs.
They're like intertwined, I guess. But because I was like Thrawn. I don't know. To me, Thrawn and Mando have like nothing to do with each other. But
well, not yet. But I guess we'll see with this new movie how that's all going to shake out. But by the way, right around the corner. And I'm excited. We'll obviously be covering it on the show here as well. I've been getting ads because I'm using my sister's Disney Plus subscription. Don't rat me out, Disney. It's cool. All right, it's cool.
It's chill.
It's true. It's really cool.
It's
so
chill.
She's got ads.
I didn't even know you could get ads on Disney.
Yeah. She had like some sort of bundle. It was like Crave
if
and
it
Disney
makes it
Plus
a lot
and
cheaper,
Netflix, and it was like $20 for all 3.
I might go for it.
Well, yeah, because the prices are outrageous. And so
crazy.
It's a lot cheaper to go with ads. And so I've been watching with ads, and they did have an ad for Mandalorian Grogu in the middle of Maul. So at least they're staying consistent with their branding. Any thoughts on like the death of the live action TV side of things?
I don't know. We'll see. I guess I think I just need to see where things go with Ahsoka first. I don't know. Before
it really depends on how that closes out, right? Like the events of the movie and Ahsoka season 2. It's like, and obviously Ahsoka season 2, Ahsoka it's herself being like Dave Filoni's baby. You have to imagine that like there's a strong possibility that there'll still be some of that to go around.
Yeah, I can't see them like fully scrapping live action, but maybe taking a pause. Like they have been putting a lot of stuff out over the last few years. So
well, they're already on a pause. There was barely anything last year.
Yeah, it's true. So like I get, they've kind of pivoted to the new movies. We'll see how those do, and then I don't know. Like I can see just a slowdown.
Well, it's a changing of the guard, right?
In general of Star Wars content, of like it probably we won't have as much content as maybe we've had.
Probably
past
not,
years,
and probably part of that is because Dave Filoni's going to take over and he's going to want to like set the new direction.
Yeah.
And a lot of people have concerns that he's too in the weeds, as it were, with like lore stuff. Which, to be fair, I actually can see that potentially being a turnoff for general audiences if not done properly, but time will tell. We'll find out. We did that whole thing where we talked about the change of the leadership at Lucasfilm. So anyway, we'll keep an eye on that. We also did find out the runtime of the Mandalorian movie, and now I have to like check it because I forgot where. Okay, here it is. The runtime. Okay, so yeah, the Mandalorian season 4 is not happening. Just to be very clear about the last thing. So this is from thedirect.com. Lucasfilm confirmed via a recent Empire story that The Mandalorian season 4 is the latest Star Wars Disney Plus project to never see the light of day on the streamer, with series creator Jon Favreau revealing that a fully written 4th season was shelved in the wake of Hollywood's 2023 strikes. Favreau, who penned an entire season's worth of scripts, still sit unused, shifting his focus to the upcoming theatrical release that's coming out on May 22nd. So there's that. Also, in terms of Mandalorian and Grogu, speaking of that, it will be 132 minutes or 2 hours and 12 minutes. That's the shortest runtime for a Star Wars movie since, and this is by CPR, Comic Book Review, the shortest runtime for a Star Wars film since the animated feature The Clone Wars was released in 2008, as the movie ran an hour and 38 minutes long. The Mandalorian and Grogu just barely made this distinction, as it's just 1 minute shorter than the 2016 prequel film Rogue One, which spanned 2 hours and 13 minutes. So there you go.
Okay, so it's a minute shorter than Rogue One.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rogue One feels pretty short, so it won't be that necessarily that much of a surprise that it's not going to be super long. My guess is with any of these things that like they're targeting that 2 hour runtime because that's the sweet spot for number. You can play a lot of movies in the theaters back to back. When it gets to 3 hours, you lose the amount of viewings you can do in a day, screenings.
That's true.
So I don't know. It's hard to put a lot into the runtime of anything until you know what's going to happen. I'm still very skeptical of how that movie is going to be. Any thoughts on that?
Not really. I mean, runtimes on movies don't necessarily matter a whole lot to me, I would say.
Movies have been getting longer in general.
Yeah, and like I don't need to sit there for 3.5 hours, to be honest with you.
Well,
like that's a bit much.
I'm going to disagree because when it comes to Star Wars stuff, the longer the better, in my opinion.
Yeah, I guess it just depends on the story. Like I don't know. I do feel sometimes where I'm like sitting in a movie and I'm like, how much longer is this movie? And I don't like feeling that
was
way.
how I felt about the Mario Galaxy movie.
Oh, okay. Did not see it. Because like sometimes it's just a bit too much where I'm like, Kate, this movie didn't need to be this long.
That's I mean, for a long time, the running joke on the Tower Babble podcast was that this movie was too long. And it needed to be shorter.
Yeah, which is fair because there's a lot of times where like you want to go to put a movie on, and you're like, "Fuck, that's like 3 hours." Like,
but it's the old adage that like there's no such thing as a movie that's too long or too short. If you're enjoying a movie, you won't notice how long it is. If you're not enjoying a movie, it doesn't really matter how long it is. You just want it to end.
Yeah, I
so
guess
it's like
the majority of the movies that I watch these days are streamed. So when I look at the runtime of a movie, I'm like, oh, I'm not going to make it through that.
It's funny because when you were going to Blockbuster back in the day, did you ever look at the runtime? No one ever looked at the runtime.
No, but when Blockbuster existed, there weren't any movies that exceeded 3 hours ever.
That's true.
If you had a 2.5 hour movie, that was like absurd back then. Everything was like an hour 30, hour 45, maybe 2 hours.
I love an hour and a half movie. That's a nice.
There was
get me in and out of there quick.
Like if it needed 2 VHSs like Titanic, then you're like, oh, we're in for it.
That's fair. And then you just watch the second one anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, and then last thing, we have a new Black Series figure in honor of a new series. We always like to have a new Black Series figure for a new series. This is from Rachel, so thank you very much, Rachel. This is, speaking of the Mandoverse, this is Stormtrooper from The Mandalorian. So they are a remnant Stormtrooper, which I think is the ones that were left behind by... Actually, I really don't know.
No, I think it's they're Imperial remnants, so they're like Moff Gideon's.
Yeah, they're Moff Gideon's soldiers.
Yeah. Because at first when I thought, I was like, oh, is this one of the like Night Sister ones? I was like, no, that's different.
Those ones are cool, have gold on there.
Yeah, they're called, and they're more dead. They're called something else. I can't remember.
They're zombies, basically.
Yeah, but this is but I liked that he looked really beat up, so I feel like he'll look really good with your,
it's cool.
You could show him, I don't know, blown up on the ground in your little setup.
Back here. Back there somewhere. Behind Winston.
In Blur, yeah.
Anyway, it's cool. Comes with a standard blaster. I love getting a Stormtrooper. Standard Stormtroopers, surprisingly hard to come by.
That's
regularly.
why when I saw it, I was like, oh shit, it was called Artifact Alley here where we live. I don't know, Winnipeg, whatever.
I've never heard of that.
It was, I don't know, it was like kind of like, it was a few weeks ago.
Oh, it's an event?
On the weekend? Yeah, it was at the convention center. So it was a lot of like Pokemon cards, which is why we went. I went with my husband.
Someone just stole my Pokemon card out of my car.
Ooh.
It's okay.
Why did you have a Pokemon card?
I found it on the ground, so it was like, it's easy come, easy go. I also had a Yu-Gi-Oh card on the ground. I had both of them in there, and someone rifled my car, stole both.
Of course.
It was a holographic Chandelure. So I don't know if anyone cares about that. The Chandelure, obviously, extremely low on the totem pole of
No,
Pokemon
it's
that
not
are
worth a
cool.
lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, there was a lot of like, it was a mix between like kind of people who make stuff, like whatever, craft makers or like small, some 3D printed garbage, but like also people who crochet things and whatever.
3D printed garbage.
Anime stuff. But then there was lots of like Pokemon cards and sports cards and
Sure. Okay.
Adam's getting very back into the Pokemon card collecting. So
As like an investment?
you would be surprised. Apparently, investing in Pokemon cards has a better yield than the S&P these days.
Okay.
So
Well, it sounds like he's really sold you on with his PowerPoint presentation.
yeah. Well, he has though. Like he's got some like old cards from like back in the day when we like whatever. Him and I are in our late 30s. He's almost 40. So he has like some OG cards. That he wants to go get graded and stuff and whatever that not like anything super crazy, but
if only I kept my Pokemon cards from when I was a kid.
that shit's worth so much money. Even just like
it's only worth money if you sell it.
ungraded-
You got to sell
well,
it.
that's
if you
what
want it to be, yeah.
that's what I told him. I said that's my number one thing. I was like, he's like, oh, like this card's worth this and that, and like pulling
Cool,
things.
then sell
And
it.
I was like, cool, but like, are you actually willing to sell it? Like because when you talk about grading some of those cards, it costs a lot to grade them, especially the like OG ones because they could be worth so much, and they like. The scaling is crazy. So it's like if the card has the potential to be worth like a lot, they will charge you a percentage of what that card is technically worth on the market to grade it.
And does it have to be graded to be sold? Seems like a bit of a
you
racket.
get more money if it's graded because if it has a grade, it's in one of those like placard things. They're worth more than like a raw card because a raw ungraded card has like a base value or whatever.
It's an acoustic card, yeah.
Yeah, but I was like, they're only worth money if you're gonna sell them though, hun.
That's
so,
right. Worth keeping in mind to any collector.
Yeah, he says he is. So I'm like, all right.
Okay,
well,
all right.
maybe we could retire on it one day. That'd be nice. Who knows?
Yeah, that would be being able to retire at all would be nice. Okay,
Right?
let's get into the episode. There are 2 to cover. Following this week, next week there'll be 2 episodes, then another 2 on April 27th, and then the final 2 on May 4th. So next week will be Chapter 5, Inquisition. You can imagine what that's about.
Yeah.
And Chapter
Pretty
6,
obvious.
Night of the Hunted. You can imagine what that's about.
Mm-hmm.
So looking forward to next week a lot, but there's lots
Yeah.
to talk about this week. So let's get into it. Overall thoughts on this second batch of episodes?
I liked it. I liked that we slowed down a little bit in these next 2. But I also liked that we kind of wrapped up the Crime Syndicate stuff pretty early. Like, so the Crime Syndicate stuff, like, it's obviously not going to, like, play through the whole series. So I was like, okay, that's good, because I think we were chatting a little bit last week about how we didn't necessarily care as much about the Crime Syndicate stuff. But it just seemed like with the first, like, 3 episodes, it was just him, like, running through those, like, 3 crime syndicates to, like, get what he wanted done. So I like that we wrap that up and we're kind of moving into the more, obviously, like, getting the Empire slowly involved and the interactions between Maul and Devin and, like, the light side, dark side battles and, like, that kind of stuff. So there's a lot of really cool aspects of these episodes that I really liked. There's some cool fights and some interesting interactions and interesting dialogue that I liked.
What do you think of the lightsabers in this series? I know we've
cool.
seen...
I really like them. I feel like you're hesitant, but like I like that they look kind of flamey when
They
they're
do have
fighting.
some... They do
It's
look cool.
neat.
I think that's the only thing that, like... That doesn't turn me off. I think it's
No?
fine.
Okay, that's
So they're a little bit on the skinnier side. So they're
They
like
are.
somewhere between the Clone Wars thick ones and the
Rebels.
and Rebels like
Yeah.
pencils.
But I like that when they move, you can see like the
the motion blur.
Yeah.
That's important. I think
Mhm.
the movies got worse. Their lightsabers seemingly got worse for some reason
Mhm.
in live action. Animation seemed to got better with it. It was really like they were like if you go back and watch the season 7 Clone Wars fight between Maul and Ahsoka, the lightsabers are just like they're just streaking all left and right all over the place.
they look beautiful.
It's a little much, I think, but it's a stylistic choice, so it's fine.
I liked it. Like
Yeah.
I like seeing that bit of a blur and that they don't look like they're just like tubes.
Have you seen? Yes, that's fair. Have you seen the new Tron movie with?
No.
Okay.
I have not seen a single Tron movie ever.
Okay, so in the new Tron movie,
Not in my
they've got these
wheelhouse.
like. Okay, do you know how the light cycles like leave this like line of light behind them in Tron? and it's like hard light. If
The
you're familiar with that, the
motorcycles?
motorcycles.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so
I thought they drive on. I don't.
they
Whatever.
anyway, don't worry about that. So they leave this like line of light, right?
Okay. Yeah.
And so the newer movies, it's like they're not like perfectly right angles, so like they make these like streams of light, and then like it's hard lights. You can crash into them, and they cut stuff and stuff. It's
Okay.
cool. So they also have these staffs that they can turn on that have the same technology, so you can like, it's kind of like a double-sided lightsabers, but it's more like a staff. And they got these two glowy bits at the end, and so when you turn them, it creates this hard light trail around it. It's kind of like that, except the one thing that's, I would argue, pretty cool about the last Jared Leto starring Tron 3.
Jared Leto's in Tron.
Yeah, he plays. Anyway, I'm not
I
going
don't
to
know
get
how I feel.
into it. It's the whole soundtrack's by Nine Inch Nails, and it's badass.
That's cool.
Yeah.
But
And anyway, they do this thing where like they're fighting. It's like a lightsaber fight essentially. But then because the staff makes these little trails and they're hard light, you can like stand on them, so that you do like this thing where you like swoop it around and hit somebody, and then you can like jump on them like stairs. The thing that you just made with your hands. It's cool. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. I just wanted to talk about Tron. I always wanted to appreciate an opportunity to.
fair enough.
Anyway, yeah, the lightsabers, I like them. They do feel a little aggressive, but that just feels like it fits with the style of the show.
Yeah.
So
Did you see that thing I sent you
about how they incorporated his weird screaming
into the lightsaber? Yeah.
It's hard to tell what that means.
I was trying to listen for it, and it kind of only sounds like if it's like certain times, and it almost, you can't really differentiate whether like that lightsaber's making the sound or he's making the sound.
That's what I'm kind of saying.
But yeah, but I guess it's like maybe the whispering too, like the kind of the screamy weird whispers that it does. But.
So the dark side stuff has the whispering in the background, which is cool. And then so the story is that Sam Witwer, he is very known for his like Maul screams.
It's a good scream.
And so they incorporated that sound into the sound his lightsaber makes. And I heard it at one point, but again, it was like I can't really tell if it's just Maul making that sound.
Yeah.
But either way, it's like it sounds so much like Maul screaming that it's like it's kind of weird because that's not what a lightsaber sounds like.
Yeah.
So,
but I guess when you go like they go vroom, but it's like his
right, but
is
it's
more
like
of
goes
a
like wah!
screech.
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird, but it's cool. It's a cool stylistic choice. It's all very fun, artistic stuff.
I think it kind of just like they do still make it have the lightsaber sound, but maybe they used his scream and turned it into more of a lightsaber sound. Like did their sound thingies with it. I don't know. You know what they do with sound, where they like take a thing.
What do they do?
They like you'll take a sound bite and then they'll turn it into something like completely different.
Oh,
right.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
like sometimes what they do with Foley sounds, like where
Yeah.
you're making the sound like someone stabbing some things, and it's like
Yeah.
someone just punching a steak or
Yeah.
something weird like that.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But it's kind of similar to that. But
Okay.
I don't know.
It's a cool little like tidbit.
Mhm.
Sam Witwer, he's all over the internet right now, obviously because of the show, and he's obsessed. There was this thing. He's like, oh, maybe he's not dead after
No.
he was stabbed by Obi-Wan, and it's like, and that would be just one too many
deaths.
death experiences.
Yeah,
for
because that was like a perfect rounding of like.
yes, it all comes together.
Yeah, it all comes together. It's.
It makes no sense. Why would it be?
No.
He doesn't get buried. He gets buried, does he?
Doesn't
not?
he?
Does
I don't
Obi-Wan
know.
bury
He
him?
literally like dies in Obi-Wan's arms.
Yeah,
so I'm like, I can't.
know.
Yeah. No.
Okay. My overall thoughts: the pacing is improved.
Mhm.
I think in these 2 episodes. You mentioned they slowed it down. I think there's a nice balance between the high-paced action and the slower-based story building and world building they're doing, which I think is improved. Everything that Maul's doing with the Jedi is, I think, captivating.
Mhm.
Getting a deeper look into Maul's psyche at this point is fascinating, especially as it relates to the Jedi. I mean, and kind of like he basically has this worldview where like might makes right,
Right. Mhm.
and which funny that also happens to be Trump's worldview, but whatever. And it colors how he sees the Jedi because he sees them as weak for not leveraging their power.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, that's how Sith have always seen Jedi, but.
Yes, but fair enough. I mean, he's of course been the line from last week where he's like, you've been indoctrinated. It's like, maybe you should look in the mirror a little bit yourself there, sir. Anyway, so I was also thinking about this. So he fights Devin in this episode, this first episode. The last Jedi he would have fought would have been Ahsoka then, presumably?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes
okay.
sense. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. I don't think he's actually really trying very hard.
No, he doesn't seem
No.
to be. he does seem to hold some reverence for the Jedi, though, that I think is genuine. Like, the Jedi are talented. They're good swordsmen. They are, smart people.
I think he also realizes that they are kind of on the same side. Like, they're like, okay, like, he's like, again, enemy of my enemy.
Yeah.
He's outside of, like, Kenobi specifically.
He's like, yeah, I'll fight with anyone except for Obi-Wan Kenobi, who
like, he
assumes is dead.
Well, he just has so much rage for Kenobi. But I guess, he would assume that Kenobi's dead right now. But, Maul's, every time he does run into a Jedi from, like, now until, Rebels, he does seem to be kind of wanting to convert them, right?
Yeah.
He's not going to go immediately to try to kill them. He's not really out to just kill Jedi. If anything, he's like, join me. Like, he was trying to get Ahsoka to join him at the end of Clone Wars. He was trying to get Devin to join him. He tries to get Ezra to join him, right? So, I don't know. I think he's more just, like, looking for a powerful buddy to help fight Sidious because he's so hard up.
Well, he's always trying to, like, manipulate the whole situation. I watched some of the Screen Crush videos, and I was reminded that his whole Siege of Mandalore thing was all a distraction to try to pull Anakin away from Sidious.
Yeah,
right?
all he didn't want Ahsoka there. He wanted Anakin. That's what he says.
Right.
Why are you here? He wanted Anakin there because he knew Sidious's underlying plan to basically turn Anakin, and he was going to try and kill him at a time. Or convert him himself. But
yeah. Okay, what's next? We have some we kind of talked about a little bit about this last week, and I think we didn't cover ourselves in glory, I would say.
Okay.
Maul's timeline. So we talked about, like, when was the Shadow Collective established and then fallen apart and then back again, and then how does that relate to Solo?
Yeah.
So here's what my understanding is this time, and I'm going to lay it out more clearly. Maul establishes the Shadow Collective after the death of his brother and mother.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
During that time, he seizes control of Mandalore. Okay. That all works out pretty good until he's captured by Sidious.
Right, yeah, because he gets captured in...
All right, so wait, no, sorry, am I getting this backwards?
No, you're right, because he takes over Mandalore basically twice. Yeah.
So he's captured by Sidious, then the book, that comic book that's based on the unfinished
Son
arc,
of Dathomir.
Yeah, Son of Dathomir, is how he's broke out of prison by Rook Kast, all that stuff happens, and then he establishes the Shadow Collective, right? So, yeah.
Yeah, because then he goes around, and that's what we see in like season 7 of Clone Wars.
Right, he's going and decapitating people and stuff. Yeah,
exactly.
And so, part of this, by the way, is a side note, but I do find the stuff where Maul is, like, taking down the Pikes to be a little repetitive. Like, it's like we've seen this before.
Yeah.
It's not that interesting, in my opinion. We also know where it leads, so it's like...
Yeah, that's kind of why I like that they wrapped it up real quick.
It's like, well, yeah, but, like, I assume we're going to see more of it, because there's other factions that he has to, like, put under his thumb.
I don't know if they're really...
Crimson Dawn.
Crimson Dawn would be the only one that's kind of left.
The Crimson Dawn, the Pikes, the Suns, the Black Suns.
If they're around, yeah.
I think so.
Because,
anyway,
like, he never really... Yeah.
Anyway, the point is... he does this whole thing with his brother. His brother gets killed. Then his mother gets killed. He gets captured by Sidious. Then he establishes his syndicate.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Siege of Mandalore happens. And he gets captured by the Jedi. And then released when Order 66 happens.
Mm-hmm.
That's how we get to here.
Yes.
Maul Shadow Lord.
Yes.
Fast forward. He still has the syndicate by the time of Solo.
Gotcha.
A Star Wars story.
Okay, that makes sense.
Fast forward. We get to Rebels, and then fast forward. He's dead.
Yeah.
So there we go.
So there's weird in between time between, like, now and what we see in Solo.
But, like, not much happens.
I
don't feel like. I mean, we don't know. I mean, it's like we don't know nothing that, like, really changes anything on a fundamental level as far as
except for the fact that he's running fucking Crimson Dawn.
Well, yeah, I guess that I
But-
understand that he's running these syndicates. I'm saying that
Yeah,
we know
yeah.
that the events of the show will lead up to the Solo in
Yes,
some way, and
yeah.
he's still running it by Solo. So it's like nothing by the events of Solo is going to undo that. Is what
No,
I'm saying.
no.
But then I guess by the events of Rebels, the
Yeah,
syndicate's gone.
No, because he's like
Crazy.
crashed and like marooned on that planet where he was,
Right.
where Ezra meets him, where he's like slithering around like a.
He was doing a
hobo.
little bit of slithering around today in this episode.
It's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I provided, I think, some clarity on
Yeah.
the timeline. I don't know if that helps that much.
It does help, yeah.
Okay, the shared desire by everyone except a droid to avoid being entangled with the Empire feels believable. Everyone, every single character except for Two Boots is like, no, we don't want the Empire involved.
Yeah.
And it's like, that seems believable to me.
It makes
that
sense because
only-
he's police protocol,
Yeah.
right? Like, yeah.
It's also funny. It's almost like everyone on the show has watched Andor and doesn't want to rustle like the wrong feathers.
Yeah.
It's like, oh no, we saw what happened on that show. We don't
Mhm.
want any of that. Thank you.
Yeah.
The music continues to be a highlight for me. I mentioned there's already a connection to Revenge of the Sith in the first episode, and I think also in the second one. Kevin Kiner has included his children. He has two kids that are scoring this with him.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so that's kind of fun.
Huh.
And then
Adult children?
yeah,
I would assume.
or they're like young adults. They're young adult children.
Yeah.
There's this interesting note that I heard on the Screen Crush podcast about like people's themes, because Duel of the Fates plays again in the the second episode of this week's
Right.
batch. And people were saying, like, apparently on the internet, were like, well, technically Duel of the Fates isn't Maul's theme, but it kind of is now by default
Yeah.
because it wasn't originally intended to be that way.
Whose theme is it supposed to be then?
It's not. Well, it's really more about like how the death of Qui-Gon sets Anakin down the path to the dark side, basically. And so the
Okay.
Duel of Fates, it's the
Yeah.
fate of Anakin
I see.
and Qui-Gon. Or the duel of which fate he will have, whether that of good or bad.
Right.
Anyway, so that's what the original intent was, but things change. Like the original Force theme that we hear when Luke watches the binary sunsets, that was supposed to be Luke's theme, but then it became the Force theme, as an example. There's others, so it's like things change. I think it's a if we're gonna have a theme for Maul, the Duel of the Fates is as good as that gets.
Yeah.
Okay. And I just think that in general, just back to kind of the way the show looks, it's a lot easier to follow this week in terms of the action. I thought there was a lot of really fast cutting last week. This less so. It felt a lot more familiar from a Star Wars animation. Like it feels a lot more like what we're used to from
Yeah.
Lucasfilm animation.
I liked some of the close-up shots we got in this. Like,
Oh, yeah,
of-
they're
of
like
his
the really
face
good
and-
details
yeah,
stuff.
it was, like,
Yeah.
some really, really cool shots.
But the action, I think, is fast. It's fast,
Mhm.
right? And that adds a sense of danger, but it's not like too fast.
No.
It's not like Bourne Ultimatum shaky cam stuff. Okay, so let's get into the episode by episode breakdown. So chapter 3, Whispers in the Unknown. As Maul's plans come together, Devin considers her options. Directed by Stuart Lee and Brad Rao, written by Julia Cooperman, Amanda Rose Munoz, and a runtime of 23 minutes. I've updated my theories on some of the helmets for the Star Wars opener.
Ah, okay.
So I'm locked in on Ezra's helmet for the second one.
yeah, it's kind of like that scout trooper helmet.
but it's
or
not a
whatever.
Scout Trooper helmet.
That's
Because
what
that's the one with the
looks like.
visor.
Okay.
The Scout Trooper one's the one with the visor. It's
Fair.
more like, again, it's like something else he steals later in the.
Yeah.
But it's all painted.
Or
and
like
stuff.
what's the word when they're in the academy? It's like an academy.
Oh
or
yeah,
something.
something like that. Exactly.
Yeah.
But it makes sense. Okay, you got like a Clone Wars Gen 1,
Mm-hmm.
back to the roots of Lucasfilm animation, then the Ezra helmet, which is the next major thing that they did in Rebels, and then it's a bunch of random stuff. So the third
Yeah.
one is still very much a question. It looks like a droid with a helmet on it,
Mm-hmm.
which is like weird. It's and then instead of a female Super Commando helmet, because I looked more at Rakas, it's not Rakas' helmet, but maybe it's an Imperial Super Commando helmet.
Okay.
That's my next best guess. Because you know how they get those like weird Imperial Super Commando uniforms in Rebels?
Right.
We go to that's the first time we see Mandalore, and I remember going to Mandalore and Rebels and being like, "This sucks." It's just like a white background on a white floor. It's like
Right.
it's like we just forgot to animate the world.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, the Imperial Super Commandos have a different looking helmet, so I'm wondering if that's what it is.
So
I'll have to
many
look that
different
again.
helmets.
Yeah, and then the cross-shaped droid head thing, I still don't know what that is, but I assume it's something
Yeah.
to do with the pikes. It's my next. Winston, did
Yeah.
you fart again?
Definitely.
Oh my God, Winston and his farts, man. They're so stinky.
Yeah, buddy, if you're gonna be in the pod studio,
Oh my
there's
God.
a no farting rule.
Yeah, seriously. Oh, dude. No, your eyes are lucky you're not here for this. I'm telling you. Okay. We start on Janix. As we're going to spend most of our time in this series on Janix. But we'd start with the tolling of bells. This reminds me of Andor season 1 when they had that big bell on Ferrix.
Yeah.
Bell
tolls are always cool.
Very cool.
Yeah, it always gives like an ominous kind of funeral or
or ceremony.
Ceremony.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and we start with a tea ceremony here, so it does
I thought
feel,
this was so cool.
Yeah. So
Maul's always doing cool shit.
Yeah,
like,
right?
Man, he's just
So 2 moons. We know that this planet already has 2 moons because we saw them last week. But I was thinking about this. I was like, because they are both in crescent view, right? Like both the moons were crescent. It's like
right.
like the Dreamscape or not Dreamscape. The movie, what I'm talking about. The movie studio. And I was thinking, okay, so you've had 2 moons. Would they both be in crescent at the same time? The planet would have to be casting a shadow.
Are they in crescent, like opposite crescents?
No, they're like the same,
crescent?
which makes no sense.
Don't ask me.
But
unless there's something
the show
else.
doesn't have to make sense from a scientific perspective, but I don't think they could both be in crescent.
They wouldn't be the exact
time.
same kind of crescent
Right.
unless they were like
perfectly in line with each other, in which
Yeah.
case then the other moon would block the other one, so you wouldn't be able to see it.
Yeah.
So
Unless I don't know, there's got to be something else blocking, like another moon or another.
I guess maybe there's a
suns.
third moon you can't see that's also
Yeah.
like in tidal lock with the other ones. I don't know. It seems unlikely that would make sense, but anyway, we see them like that. We get another shot of the cityscape. It's still very cool. We descend into the lower levels, and we pick up with Devin where we left off last week. She's spotted by Rook. They do not speak. She just like nods in a direction, and she's sent to see Maul. So Maul's waiting for her, meditating, kneeling. He's presenting a tea ceremony. So I've never done a tea ceremony myself,
No.
but there was a lot of like when I was in Japan, there was a lot of like, oh, come see this tea ceremony or take part in this tea ceremony thing. I never got a chance to do it. I wish I did.
I always love when they kind of incorporate more of like the Japanese culture
Yes.
elements into these shows. And I don't know, specifically with Maul, I feel like it fits really well with him and his character. And like, I don't know, he's always kind of seemed like a very relatively disciplined, but he speaks a lot in kind of these wise riddles.
He's very articulate.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
like he's very like collected and collective, and he meditates, and then his fighting styles and stuff.
Well,
Like, he's very hectic, but at the same time,
But when he wants to be in control, he can
Yeah,
be. It's
yeah.
like he starts by saying like, "Oh, what's your name?" He's like,
Mhm.
"My name." She's like, "Yes, that would be proper."
yes,
Right?
Yeah.
So
yeah, so it's interesting that he kind of has these like eloquent ways of speaking when he is.
he has this air of high society.
yeah,
to
he
him.
does. It's so I'm like I like it. Yeah, doing a tea ceremony like this is quite cool.
And my thinking would be that this is something he would have learned. These are types of things he would have learned from Palpatine, right?
yeah, maybe
Being under his tutelage
Mhm.
as a young child, he's a high society member,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
He's a senator. He's teaching him not only how to be a Sith, but how to be like a sneaky spy. Right?
yeah.
So the whole point of a tea ceremony, I guess, in this scenario is to kind of get in Devin's head, right? About
Yeah.
like really trying to show an opposing perspective to what she thinks Maul's about, right? And as he says very on beginning, right? So he says, so you're beginning to see things from a new perspective. He wants her to see him from a new perspective,
Right.
right? And then I love this line. It seems you've settled on who you believe I am,
Mm-hmm.
right? Which could also be read as like a line to the audience. It's like the audience believes they understand who Maul is, but let's present a more a deeper look at this character. But this all puts her off balance, right? And the whole thing with the Sith is that like you put them off balance, and then you can like move them and guide them, and then push them in the direction you want them to go.
Yeah.
He says he doesn't know her name, but we learn later that it's a lie. That he does know her name.
That was one thing I was confused about. It's like, or does he learn it in their fight?
By like reading her mind?
Like, I don't know. It sounds like his lightsaber like whispers to him and then he knows her name. So
so
like,
you hear a lot of the whispery sounds.
It, you know what I mean? Like it's like after he gets it back from her. That's kind of what I got. Like, I don't know. I could be reading too much into that, but
okay, first of all,
but he could just know her
did
name.
we know that Maul's lightsaber can split into two?
Yes. Wait. I think
He's never done that before, as far as I can recall. It feels like it's straight out of the Jedi Survivor video game. Actually, both.
Could be, but I think they kind of mentioned, I don't know, somewhere, maybe you said it, but that this is his fixed lightsaber.
Yes, from Mandalore.
So yeah, I don't know. I guess maybe, they just took it from Jedi Survivor. Like, oh, that's cool from all to like.
We can do that too.
Because
I guess
it's cool to be able to break them in half. And
and then dual wield if you want.
Yeah.
I guess so. Like the way it works in the game is that each blade has its own kyber crystal.
Kyber crystal, yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So then you can theoretically split them in two, and then that's still they can still create a blade. So cool. It's cool the way he sets it up, where it's like, okay, here's one half of my lightsaber. Take it. Strike me down.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it, it's a classic Sith move, right? Is to tempt you with violence.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
But
yeah, you're right. I don't think we've actually seen him do that before. Usually, sometimes he will light only one side.
That's true, but then usually he has that really long pommel, so it's like it looks weird when he only uses one end, but then when it's split in two, it looks more normal again. And it's like I'm like, I was looking at it because it's short and it's stubby sitting there next to him on a T-shirt and everything. I'm like, is that his lightsaber? What do we do? What is happening here? Anyway, we don't know how he figures out her name. It's unclear if he knew already, and he was just using that to test her, or if he read her mind, because he says that earlier he says your panic, I think, or whatever, your frustration betrays you. Right. So it's possible he kind of gleams it. That seems like the most likely understanding. Anyway, Maul puts her off balance by asking her about her arm injury, being concerned for her.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, well, I can be the person you want me to be. And she's like, what do you see me as? She says, I see a murderer.
Yeah.
And
I love his
He's
like, well,
we do what we must to survive.
It's specifically just the well part. He's like, well,
yeah. Well, I mean, I can't really defend myself there. I am a murderer. You got me there. It's funny.
Yeah. I was like, it is. Oh man. I really like his cadence as a character, the way he speaks.
He's, I think, improved as a character a lot over the years.
Yeah.
So he tries to relate to her. This is I like how the Sith are always it's like they're trying to parent somebody, but in the most toxic way possible.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Gaslighting and manipulation.
Well, it makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're just the Jedi took advantage of you.
Right. I would never do that.
Yeah. They're like, let me show you how the real world is.
Right.
So they won't let you use your power.
Yeah, exactly. And so he tries to relate to her by saying oh, you were part of an order. You understood this, you had this structure, and then you didn't understand, you're kind of lost now, the fragility of these institutions, et cetera, et cetera. And so he also felt confident, and he says I was confident in my destiny when I was a student, a learner, when I was just a learner, right? Before my master cast me aside. And he mentions how, we're not alike. Well, my brother and my mother were murdered by the same person who destroyed the Jedi Order. So again, more in common than you might think. This, I do feel for some reason, does work on her.
Yeah,
all of it kind of works on her in a different way.
He's definitely playing to that empathy
right
side of the Jedi, being you don't actually know what I've been through. Like, it's like I've lost people. Feel sorry for me a little
Right.
bit. Yeah. It's, again, very manipulative.
Yeah,
to be
100%.
Like, feel sorry for me and have some sympathy for me and see me as
I am a murderer,
more
but I had a
vulnerable.
reason. I did it because I was sad.
I loved people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you mentioned this for like that fragility of the institutions thing.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like I'm not really sure where he's getting at here because it feels like maybe he's trying to say that you trusted in the world being a certain way, and now it's not that, and you're lost, right?
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of like the fragility of like, look how fragile the Jedi were. The Empire is just as fragile. Like, there's these institutions that get set up and people that try to like tell you what to do and people in power,
Right.
but they're more fragile than they look.
Right. And you're powerful and you should be able to exert your power over them. Yeah,
exactly.
Okay, I like that. So she steals the lightsaber. Classic move. We've seen this before. We watched this happen. Basically, anytime a Jedi is being tempted by the dark side, this happens almost every time.
Yeah.
Where they draw their enemy's weapon and then they've got the red lightsaber. And you're like, ooh, look what they look like with the red lightsaber.
Yeah. Giving you a glimpse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she does look pretty cool, no doubt.
Yeah.
Anyway, he turns off the lights, and then he does that, like, slinking around you mentioned, slithering around in the darkness.
He loves doing that.
And, yeah, speaking in echoes and stuff.
I like that she uses, like, the, what is it? When she first takes the lightsaber, and she uses, like, the...
Form 3,
well,
I think.
yeah, like the Obi-Wan stance,
Yeah.
like the Sorosu or whatever, because she kind of puts her hand
She does
out
that. Yeah,
and
she
then
does the thing, and then she switches to like a more defensive stance, which I think is Form 2.
Yeah, she's
Please
like a
don't
little
quote
unsure. No, I don't know the forms very well, but
Yeah.
I did clock like the specific kind of like Obi-Wan one at first, but then she's kind of unsure and like steadies herself to be, yeah, exactly, like more on the defense than the offense.
Right.
So, yeah, it's quite interesting to see her.
Well, she's
it feels like she
panicking.
switches fighting styles like quite a bit.
Yeah, she uses, I think, at least 3 different lightsaber forms.
Yeah,
in
it's
this.
interesting.
And Maul uses 3 different ones also.
Yeah, he's always all over the place though, depending on what he's.
Well,
trying to do.
in this episode specifically, he uses Dooku's.
I noticed that with the
Form
hand behind his back.
5, I think.
Yeah. The very like.
Please don't quote me on the number.
Yeah,
like
I don't know.
It's hard to remember which form is
It's
which.
with the fencing one.
Yeah, the like dueling stance.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we got a new listener viewer in the chat. 50 Thunderer 26. 50th Thunderer.
Hello.
50 Thunderer 26. Yeah, okay, not 50th, but you could read it that 50th under 26 if you wanted to read it that way. He says hello there, and of course the appropriate response is General Kenobi. General Kenobi, right? Okay, so she steals the lightsaber, and the lights go out. She's panicked, and then cut to title card. Any other thoughts on this opening section? We talked a lot about it already.
No, I liked it.
Yeah, it's good.
Mm-hmm.
This is the only stuff that I care about, really.
This is where we got some really like cool close-ups of his face, and
yes,
and
he looks very good. The show looks very, very good.
Very cool.
It continues to be like very impressive from an animation perspective. This is an animation level that you could easily bring to the big screen again, and it would stand, neck and neck with anything that like Pixar or anyone else is putting out right now, in my opinion. We're back to Police HQ. Captain Lawson and his team continue their search for Maul and Devin. Two Boots passes him some calf. I like how they keep this is like a running gag.
Yeah.
And pokes fun about his deviant connections. The line read from Captain Lawson's actor, I'm trying to remember. I got to find his name here so I can properly credit him. Is Wagner Mora.
Mm-hmm.
The way he says deviant connections is so funny. It's just like he's really struggling with his accent to say all those like there's a lot of, I guess, consonants in there. It's funny to me. Anyway, I guess obviously referencing his meeting with that lady of the night. Well, that's not fair. She's not. I don't want to say she's a lady of the night. She works at night. That does not make her one of the a lady of the night necessarily.
No, she's definitely like a.
She's like a
crime
a boss
person
of some kind.
Yeah.
Yeah. She has connections to the underworld.
She's a CI.
Yeah. Exactly.
They're always,
informant.
kind of shady.
Yeah, and also has the hots for him. We talked about that last week.
That always helps.
I hope they end up together. Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
For her sake, end up with a nice, police boy. Anyway, he provides a download on the Maul situation. This is a little bit like catch up from last week and exposition. And then they kind of touch on Ludi's connection to the Pikes. So they're talking about, okay, so Ludi Vario is doing smuggling for the Pikes on and off world. So the plan is to find the smugglers, Ludi's smugglers, and have them lead them to Maul, right? Starting at the spaceport. I first of all, Two Boots is funny here because he's like, what a great plan of extremely loose connections that will, I'm sure, lead to something useful.
Yeah.
But he's like, I'll do it anyway. It's we have this all we have to go on. Lawson is ready to join him, but Two Boots reminds him that his son has a spike ball match. It's called Spike Ball, right? That's what they called it. I think that's what it's called. Apparently, this is a game that was in like some of the extended material in some of like the tabletop RPG source books and stuff. So I'm just gonna call it Space Lacrosse from now on.
Yeah,
but,
I still don't know what it's supposed to look like.
They didn't show us.
No,
I found that decision, like the way they shot the stadium, to be very strange. So
I was like, what? Just show us kind of what it is.
First of all, huge stadium. So are we supposed to believe that like is this collegiate level sports or professional level sports?
High school tournament.
It seems like a lot of people are there.
Hey, you know how the States gets with their college level sports?
Yeah, I get it. I'm just saying, like, the choice to shoot that whole sequence in like, I guess like a back hallway of the stadium.
Yeah.
And then
like
only
the
shoot
tunnel.
his kid from the shoulder up so you can't see what the field looks like at all.
I would assume it's very purposeful because they're like, we don't want to deal with trying to figure out what this sport looks like.
Yeah, I get that. I think it's just like, if that's how you're going to do it, we don't actually need to go to the game. If you're not going to show us anything about what's going on.
I think they want to show us that trope of like the cop dad he's trying real hard to be there for his kid and then he shows up for his kid,
disappointing him,
but
though.
then his kid he gets disappointed because he scores a goal or whatever the hell.
I would tell you this: if my dad showed up and I was like, I scored a goal and I looked in the stands and he was gone, I'd be pissed.
Yeah, I mean, I would assume.
Yeah,
I never played team sports.
Well, if there's anything you learn about your parents early on, it's that they will disappoint you.
I was like, mine I figure skated. So they came to my figure skating
did they?
things
That's
and
nice.
would watch. Yeah, not my practices, but like my competitions. Yeah. They would often come.
Don't recall my parents really coming to.
They usually had to take me to them, so yeah.
Oh.
I guess with figure skating, there's less.
There's only a few.
There's only a few big competitions. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, whatever. It's no excuse. Be there be there for your kids. That's the lesson here.
Yeah. It's true.
And anyway, so he's like, you got to skip work and go see your kid's game, which is in the middle of the day.
Yeah.
It's confusing. Okay. So. I don't know if there's anything else you want to say about that. I don't have anything else to say.
Not really. Yeah.
From 50 Thunderer, I think it would be cool if Maul sees Palpatine on a hologram and Vader appears at Palpatine's side, just like Maul had done. So in the Phantom, in the Phantom Menace, that would really piss Maul off.
Yeah.
I think at this point, I mean, yes and no, because I think at this point, Maul is very much like understands the situation. He knew that Palpatine was grooming Anakin to be his next apprentice.
Yeah, he knows how it works.
He knows that even if he for some reason thinks that Anakin did die and that Vader is a different person, although I think he's smart enough to kind of connect the dots there, that he would have another apprentice regardless. And like he already felt replaced. He was replaced by Dooku, and Dooku is like yes, he has other qualities that Maul didn't have, but like, you could argue that it's a step down from a Maul level apprentice, but whatever. So I don't know. Yes, he would be pissed, but because he's pissed about everything related to that stuff, but I don't know if he'd be more pissed necessarily.
Yeah.
Okay. So back to Maul and Devin. There's more bell tolling. Maul asks, how does it feel to wield a lightsaber again? Right? Again, touching on that like power fantasy concept, right? She knows not to fight him, which is disappointing to Maul. I guess the best case scenario for Maul is that she immediately goes for the throat. He disarms her and then like uses that rage and anger to like his benefit, right? But she's in control of her emotions.
Yeah, he's trying to goad her into fighting him, or at least trying to like, because she thinks she has his full lightsaber, right? So he's trying to goad her into like, attack me.
Yeah, what does he say? Like he's like, you're trying to run even when you're armed. How disappointing, right? But it's like she's also using this strategically and wisely. You could argue,
yeah.
So he continues his little monologue. He does a lot of monologuing over these next 2 episodes. You were promised a future that was taken from you too early. You craved that unfulfilled destiny, right? A lot of projection, I think, from Maul.
Yeah. Yeah. But maybe it's because, she's young and, like now you're on the run. People don't think you're a hero anymore. Like, how much does that suck?
Right.
It's just like must feel pretty crappy to, not be a Jedi in power anymore and to not be the hero.
And also it's like, hey, you were
now you're
young,
hunted.
you had expectation for how the future was going to go, and now you have no understanding of how things are supposed to go.
Now you're poor and you can't use your lightsaber and you're hungry and sucks.
So you would on some level, he's right, you would on some level wish that you could turn back time and change things so that you could live that future as a a Jedi Knight. I
did find it funny though that she was like she's using the lightsaber to kind of like light things up and look around. I'm like, he can see you. Like it's pitch dark except for where you are.
Right. But she's trying to both use it as a light source, but also as a shield, right?
Yeah.
She's like, if he approaches me, I need to be prepared to defend myself.
But also navigate.
But also,
I
can't
escape.
see anything.
Yeah.
But really, what she should be doing is calming herself, trusting the Force, and using that to guide her to make the right decision.
Yeah.
I
just like, if that were me,
turn the lightsaber.
I'd turn it off because I'm like, well, he can probably still see you because he's small. But like, I'd be like, you're holding the only light.
Yeah.
It's like if you're holding a flashlight in a dark room and trying to hide from someone, like it's not really gonna work super well.
Yeah, I don't think she's trying to hide so much as she's trying to find an exit and then be like, I'm armed,
assess
you're
the
not.
situation. Yeah, that's true.
I'm
Fair
going
enough.
to, So it's like holding a gun and like backing away from somebody, right?
Fair enough.
He says your frustration betrays you. I see your potential. You gotta love that. I see your potential. A lot of that in the in the Sith playbook. Wouldn't your master be impressed if you killed me? Right? I've always wondered, like, okay, what happens if they take you on that and then you do get killed? It's like, oh, oops.
I mean, I think that's just the arrogance of a Sith,
that you couldn't be.
That they just...
This Padawan wouldn't be able to
they don't think that they would be able to.
She wouldn't.
She wouldn't, and I think he just kind of knows that, and that is the arrogance of them. They want them to try, though.
Right,
because
it feeds their anger.
Yeah,
right.
That's the being like, okay, that shows me like I can get to you more. Like if I can get you to attack me unarmed, then that's just like one more step, one more drop in the dark side bucket.
Right. If you attack an unarmed opponent, are you not already halfway there?
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. Strike me down.
Yeah.
And I'll become even more powerful than you can ever imagine.
It just kind of shows them like, okay, it's working. Right.
And so, this is where I feel like he learns their name. The frustration betrays you. I can see into you through the Force. All the while, Maul lurks in the shadows. We cut back to Ludi very quickly. Rook needs to learn where the next Pike shipment location is. What?
I was going to say, wait, like, how does he know she has a master? Like, has he seen them together? But
he knows she's a Padawan.
Yeah, I think it's also because there was that little brief interaction on the bridge where the master
he knows.
Came
so he's like,
oh,
that's definitely.
Yeah.
This is not a coincidence.
No, he clocked that because he was like, that's your master for sure coming to save you. So. Because I was like, wait, he hasn't actually seen them together yet, but he has.
And it's possible that he's like stolen information from the police headquarters when they were hacked in there and got her name that way. So it's like
I thought the police didn't know her name though.
Oh yeah, good point.
Yeah, she didn't give it to him.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, okay.
I think he's pulling it out of her mind.
Of her head. Yeah, I agree. Okay, back to Two Boots. Two Boots is en route to the spaceport with a uniformed officer. They have confirmation that a Pike ship arrived in the morning. When they arrive at the spaceport, they see... By the way, I love the design of these like cop cars. They're very like 50s looking.
Yeah.
It's still very much in line with the Batman the Animated Series look. which was very, of that era too. And it's which is like it's both futuristic and old looking at the same time, which is the perfect Star Wars combination. It's got that retro.
It works for a planet
futurism.
like this too. Like they probably wouldn't have anything like super fancy, right? So
yeah, but I love like the really tiny windshield. Like it's just like a slit basically on the front. He just gives it like this is a cop car. It really gives this like old timey look feel to it. It's like it really evokes the word paddy wagon.
Paddy wagon. Isn't that like just the vans that they throw?
Yes. But it like has that same vibe.
Yeah, fair enough.
So when they arrive,
don't have those anymore.
Well, they transport prisoners in like buses
now.
and stuff.
Yeah, armored vehicles, I guess.
When they arrive at the spaceport, they see the Pikes shaking down Ludi's men. They want to send Ludi a message, and they do because they literally shoot one of his men. I paused it and slowed it down because it happens really fast.
Yeah.
Because the officer tries to intervene when one of the Pikes pulls the gun, the blaster, I should say. Apologies. The officer that's with Two Boots is like, freeze, and before he can really do anything, the Pike shoots and kills one of Ludi's men, like right point blank. And it's like they do it really fast, so it's like you don't really get a great shot of it. But I slowed it down. I was like, oh yeah, no, he took a blaster bolt right to the chest at like point blank range.
Yeah, fair enough.
That guy is dead.
I mean, we know that the Pikes are bad. Though.
Yes,
like we know that they don't.
I'm always just impressed when you see people get shot cold-blooded in any Star Wars
show.
animation.
Yeah, that's true. Because from what we know of the Pikes, like with their spice running and like they're like the hardcore cartel. Of
100%
of the Star Wars universe.
100%. Also, we get there's been a lot more like different blaster bolt colors. So we get pink this time from the Pikes. The Pikes blasters shoot pink.
I didn't notice that.
Blaster bolts, and then the Mandalorians shoot yellow blaster bolts.
Huh.
And then the cops have classic red.
Interesting.
But then we also see blue from time to time also. So it's like they're really expanding from the original red and blue only.
I wonder if that's
green.
because like they are really going like leaning into these kind of like bright sort of neon lights
it
in
looks
this one.
Cool as hell.
It does.
Yeah.
It's very 80s, very like police.
Yes.
Like we said with saxophones and
noir
neon signs. Yeah, there we go.
I also really like the music in this scene.
Mm-hmm.
It's really intense, like action scoring, and I think it's really good stuff. I don't like nothing specific I want to say, just I liked it. A gunfight ensues. Two Boots makes quick work of the small group of criminals. They're in the process of opening their shipment and taking them into custody when Rook and Maul's team arrive with a bazooka.
Yeah. And she just shoots those the spice.
Cocaine
brick looking spice bricks. Yeah,
and it explodes in purple,
all these colors,
pink, rainbow
cool.
colors. Yeah,
very cool. Which cool. That's gotta not be good for you.
It's not great for your lungs.
It's like if someone just explodes a big shipment of cocaine into the air, and then the human cops have to deal with that. I think you'd be kind of
fortunately for Two Boots, it doesn't affect him.
No, the droid is not.
But the other guy also got almost blown up by a bazooka, but he's okay. He says he's okay.
Yeah,
so he's all right.
He just got almost blown up by a bazooka.
It's okay. There's other human cop casualties in the next episode if people are looking for those. I'm not saying I want that. I'm just saying it's interesting noting how often a quote unquote cop or a good guy
We've seen
is
lots
killed.
so far.
Yeah, but it's mostly droids.
Yeah, that's true. There's been a few. That other police sergeant or captain or whatever died in the first episode from Maul, but
we hear the screams off screen. But again, off screen, right?
Yeah, I mean you see him stab down, and you know the guy's there, so you're like, well, he's definitely dead.
Okay, so Two Boots pursues. He does these really cool maneuvers where he shoots the pulley and then launches him up onto the catwalk.
It gave very I don't know.
It's Batman.
Terminator, RoboCop, backflipping kind of stuff. Is it Batman? I guess it is Batman.
It's very Batman. It's got the grapnel look. Okay, actually, I was thinking about this a lot more during the episode while I was watching it.
Mm-hmm.
This whole series is very Batman coded because you've got Batman and Robin with, so obviously Robin is Devin and Batman is Master Docky.
Okay.
And then you have, this is a really gritty Batman story, but it's okay, so you pick a Batman villain. It's not quite the Joker, but it's like if the Joker, if he wasn't insane,
Yeah.
like a very
Scarecrow.
competent, deadly Joker who's not crazy.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And so, or like a Black Mask or something maybe.
Mhm.
And it even reminds me of if you're talking about Batman the Animated Series, the classic Batman in the Animated Series, Batman Beyond: Return of the Joker, which is a classic because it merges both the original Batman and Batman Beyond. And there's this flashback sequence where Robin is captured by Joker and tortured and then like turned into his own little sidekick.
Oh.
And that's a whole thing. So it's like there's a lot of Batman coding here. I know they mentioned that in the first, like we mentioned that last week, but like the more you watch the show, it's like the more Batman it is, and it's really cool.
That's true, yeah, because then you get Commissioner Gordon there too with the cops and
100%.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
it's got all the bits.
It does. Yeah, you're right. Got a crazy villain, and then the other,
Right, he's got his henchmen, and like Batman is older. And you got a more grizzled Master Docky.
Yeah.
And then like a kind of like a Robin who's ready to step into his own in like a Nightwing style. With Devin. It's very cool.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I liking the connections. It looks visually like Batman. It's got Batman vibes to it. Obviously, everyone likes Batman, so
yeah, you specifically.
Yeah, who doesn't? Batman. I mean, it's basic ass stuff
cool.
to like Batman. Anyway, the Rook and the rest of Maul's men escape by shooting another bazooka at Two Boots.
At Two Boots, yeah.
And then they get away really quickly. There's a part later. I'll just mention this now. So they get away in their like escape vehicle,
Yeah.
and then later when Captain Lawson shows up, he's like, "Oh, they're heading towards this sector." I'm like, "You don't know where they're going."
Yeah, right.
They've been gone for so long. Exactly.
I guess you could kind of see the general direction they were flying.
Okay.
So you're like, it's kind of like saying like, "Oh, they went north."
Yeah. I was like, okay. So anywhere in that general area.
Yeah.
All right. Got it. We'll really track them down.
Yeah, I did think that was funny too.
Yeah. Okay, so we go to the spike ball match. Captain Lawson arrives at the match to say hi to his son, who is surprised to see him, but happy to see him. Master Docky arrives and makes his presence known to Lawson. He tells him that he's looking after his niece, Devin. Niece is funny because it's like they're clearly not the same species, so
yeah,
hard to be related, but all right. But you know how people are like, uncle whoever, everyone's an uncle or an aunt.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Lawson's is smart enough to figure out that like he's not actually his uncle, but like, I see there's a connection here.
Yeah, of course.
I can play along. Docky's hoping that Lawson might know where Devin is, but he can't say anything due to there being a quote-unquote ongoing investigation, which is the most cliche thing you could ever put in here.
Cliche cop thing to say.
Yeah. Docky implores that Devin is only an innocent bystander, quote, caught in the wrong place at the wrong time, which again is also super cliche. I mean, this whole exchange is like it's this Batman talking to Commissioner Gordon.
Yeah.
Coded, kind of. I mean, it's a little bit more on Front Street, but still. Wrong person, innocent bystander caught in the wrong place at the wrong time. Technically true, right? But Lawson asks the pertinent question, which is, what does Maul want with Devin? Right? And I love how he's like, oh, that too is a mystery. And Lawson's reaction here is, oh, great, another one.
Yeah.
I died laughing at that. I was like, that is so funny. And he even rolls we get a full eye roll later in episode 2 here.
Yeah.
That is really funny also. So in my opinion, Lawson is like, he's a real sassy son of a bitch.
Again, I love this like back and forth of just like two guys not sharing all the information that they know when they could. And it's like, if you just...
Yeah, but he doesn't know who he is. And like, why should he trust him as the first thing he doesn't know his story.
Docky could trust him.
Docky could, yeah, I mean...
Maybe.
Yeah, but what would Docky do? What would he say? He's like, oh, I'm a Jedi. This is my apprentice. Devin's my apprentice. Maul probably wants my apprentice.
Yeah.
Because he wants to turn her against
to the dark
me.
Side. Yeah.
It's a lot of explaining. I just feel like there's no like...
That's true, and you don't really know if you can trust the cops or they're going to call the Inquisitors immediately. So
exactly.
that's true. He doesn't know.
But again,
Can't
lots
trust
of like
anyone.
all these people making the same read on Lawson. Ah, yes, an honorable, intelligent person.
Yeah.
Even Maul is like, ah, yes, I can trust you to do what you say you're going to do.
Yeah.
Docky does mention that you need to be careful with Maul. He's, quote, something you've never dealt with before, which I feel like maybe you're right here in that, like, maybe he could be a little bit more forthcoming about, like, how dangerous we're talking.
You can be like,
right?
don't, like, he'll
Like,
kill
don't
you.
don't even get
Yeah.
up close to him. He'll kill you at the, like, easily, and it won't,
Yeah.
like, it won't even break a sweat. So,
Mhm.
but yeah, that, oh no, another one is a great line.
But you'd think, like, Lawson would know that by now. Like, he saw a bunch of his guys, how dead they were.
Oh yeah, no, I
So it's
think
like he knows.
But also, Docky doesn't know what
That's
Lawson
true,
knows,
that's
so
true,
it's
that's
like
true.
it's a little bit of like, again, we're retreading a little bit of ground here.
Yeah.
Master Docky invokes the Empire, and then they're able to come to an understanding about how neither of them want the Empire around.
Mhm.
This is kind of like core to Lawson's character at this point. And as I mentioned at the top, everyone is in agreement they don't want the Empire around. Literally
No.
everyone.
Yeah, they're like,
yeah.
yeah, we're good.
They make the comment. He's like, oh, once they come, they never leave.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Again, invoking, in my opinion, the greatest Star Wars of all time, Andor. Right.
Yeah.
What does Marva say? She says, they're not leaving anymore. It's like they're not leaving us alone anymore. She says like we were sleeping, but they're
Right.
we're I can't remember the exact line. It's such a badass line, and I don't want to mess it up, but I've already done it, so it's whatever. But yeah, they're not leaving anymore. It's they've come and they're not leaving, and so I think that's a direct line between those two things. I mean, it's obvious, but it's also like that's such a sick line from Marva that I feel like it's a call out. By the way, I don't know if you know this or recognize this, but the voice actor for Docky is the actor who played the Allstate guy.
The Allstate guy.
You know, the Allstate insurance guy. He's in a lot of commercials. It's like, you can trust us.
Okay.
Allstate is there for you. He's got that voice that you can just trust. Yeah, that's Dennis Haysbert.
Show me a photo.
Oh, you'll recognize. Yeah, no, you'll definitely recognize him as the Allstate guy.
As the Allstate guy.
Yeah, 100%.
I don't know. I feel like I haven't watched a lot of commercials.
Well, it's commercials from
Okay.
the last, I don't know. They're relatively older commercials.
I was like, oh, he's from 24.
He's also in 24.
Okay, that's what.
Yeah.
I was like, no, he looks like a cop to me, but that makes more sense.
He does. I mean, he definitely gives cop vibes for sure.
Yeah. But that makes sense, the Allstate guy. Okay.
Okay. So, as Riley scores a goal, scores something, Lawson gets a call from Two Boots and has to leave. This is also very cliche, which is pulled between my two responsibilities, and then leaves, and then the person looks like, hey, stand up, Dad, take a bow.
Yeah.
And then he's gone. Daddy?
Rough.
Daddy wasn't there to change my underwear. It's like he didn't care.
American Pie or something?
No, it's Austin Powers. Please.
Right.
Okay.
I was mixing up with Scotty Doesn't Know.
That's funny. Okay. Back with Maul and Devin. Maul offers Devin an opportunity. I can help you reach your full potential. Again, this is like basic Sith recruitment playbook here. But also, feel bad for me. I need your help. I can't take down the Empire alone. But with your help, we can rule the galaxy as father and son.
He always just thinks that one more person he can. Yeah.
It's all it takes one more. He's like, if the Sith can do it for two, why can't I?
Yeah. Keeps trying.
Anyway, so he appeals to her life as a fugitive, mentions the Jedi Hunters, right? It's like, have you even faced them yet?
Right.
Which is like, obviously a foreshadowing for next week, but
yeah.
I'm excited for that, right? We're gonna see Marok and the second brother, I think. So, Devin remains stubborn and starts heading up. So she's run out of places to go left and right, so she's gonna go up. Back with Two Boots and Lawson. This is a great conversation. They follow Maul's transport. Not sure where they'd find him. We mentioned this before. It just doesn't make sense that they would know where to go here, but it doesn't matter. They don't find him anyway.
Yeah.
Two Boots wants to call the Empire, saying that when things got this bad with the Republic, they would send a Jedi to assist.
Yeah.
Which is like a real kick in the for an extra kick when we're down. We already know that they're not the same. Two Boots also wonders if the reason that Lawson doesn't like the Empire is because his ex-wife works for the Empire, which
that
is
was
like
an interesting tidbit.
also a bit of a low blow there from Two Boots.
It's such a dry like droid thing though, because they're so like
they don't
literal.
really understand the context,
so he's just like, oh, like Art, is it because your ex-wife still works for them?
Right.
It's just such a shock.
What do you think she does? Okay, so so you think they used to be both? My guess is this: they were both cops.
Yeah.
Right.
That's my guess.
And
too.
then she joined the ISB.
Yeah, that's what I would assume is like she's working for the ISB,
but
or
like
she's...
something like a bad part of the Empire. Not that there are any good parts, but like you could just be like a plumber on the Death Star or whatever. But
yeah, that's true.
You're not actively perpetrating atrocities, but
yeah, I mean, like she could just be like
it's just an accountant,
more of like a Cyril.
Yeah,
you know, like kind of a lower level.
Cyril Karn, everyone's favorite Imperial.
But that is interesting. That it's like, okay, so she's with the Empire, but he's not. So there's obviously like that divide of, okay, so he chose to stay and be a cop on this planet instead and not join the Empire when he probably could have had the option.
Sure.
If she had the option.
Well, he seems to have some sort of like, he obviously worked with the Republic in some sort of military capacity. It seems during the Clone Wars.
Yeah.
Right. So I don't know. It just it adds another wrinkle, which is better than him just being like, oh no, I know the Empire's bad and therefore we can't trust them.
Yeah, it kind of adds a different level. It's like, oh, is it because the Empire's bad, or is it just because your ex-wife works for them?
Is it, or yeah,
because you want to see your ex-wife?
Because you're a petty bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe she got promoted and he didn't. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we heard about his wife before, about how like, oh, we go visit. It sounds like maybe they'd visit on Coruscant.
Probably.
Maybe. Yeah. Which again maybe points to the ISB. But again, or maybe they split up because she joined the Empire and he's like, you're doing bad stuff and I can't be a party to that.
Could be.
Yeah. Lawson points out the Empire is not the same as the Republic. He says, if the Empire comes in, they'll take over. They ruin lives. I've seen what they do. Right. And it, again, maybe that connection's to the wife. So it's not entirely
family.
Inaccurate. Right.
Yeah.
But, maybe it's both. He's both vindicated from a literal perspective and from an emotional perspective.
Yeah.
Which Two Boots can't understand the second part. Lawson tells Two Boots to drop the matter, pulling rank. He's like, that's an order. And Two Boots gives like a pretty poor apology. Pretty wild how, I mean, obviously Two Boots very cool character, right?
Mm-hmm.
Pretty wild that your partner droid can lie to you and go over your head and do all these things. Like, what would be the purpose of programming a droid to do those things? Anyway, whatever. It's just another question of like, are droids people?
Well, like how much autonomy do they have?
Yeah, we should. And every time we open that can of worms, it's always like, we can't. It's best not to think about that.
Mm-hmm.
The Star Wars is fine with treating droids as slaves and like.
Yeah.
They can be killed left and right. It's funny. He's like, oh, it was terrible. I was almost destroyed.
Yeah.
And, it's funny. So back with Ludi and Maul. Anyway, actually, sorry. Is there anything else you want to say about this?
No, it's just interesting that we
stuff.
get that tidbit about his ex-wife working for them. So like, okay.
Slot that away.
Yeah, we're like, I'm sure that'll come up again.
Yeah.
There's no way it's not going to
Maybe she's a Janix expert and will be sent with the ISB back to the planet.
Yeah.
And then you get that great, like, you don't understand what's going on here. You don't know what you're doing.
Yeah, you left.
And it's like, and then like a big heated argument, but it's like, it's both off the record and on the record. It's like, it's both about work, but not about work.
I would have a feeling too that maybe the reason why he's like, he says how he's seen what the Empire does, like maybe they were still together when she was working for the Empire and he saw
that's what I'm saying.
Shit happen and things that she was doing
firsthand,
and, you know, learned and was just like, man, like, I don't how are you doing that kind of stuff? Right?
Or maybe he did work for the Empire and then quit.
Could be. Yeah, could be.
I don't know how you quit the Empire.
I don't think you can quit the Empire.
You're not allowed to quit, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm sure we'll see some sort of.
Yeah. Back with Ludi. Ludi is freed from his cell. Maul's plan is working. They've drawn out the Pikes who are trying to contact Ludi. Their plan is to use him as bait to get in front of Mog Krim. Mm-hmm. By the way, Mog Krim, another character we were like, oh, that must be the boss. We've known Mogkrim. Mogkrim was in other stuff. We've seen him in the Clone Wars and other things, but like hard to keep track of the Pikes.
They
it's
all
like,
look so
They
similar.
literally all look exactly the same.
Yeah, it's
He does have a like a cool like crown thing this week.
oh,
but,
like his little like fan. Ooh,
yeah.
little fan thing on his head, but yeah.
Anyway, Rook has a script for him. He's gonna like tell him exactly what to say. And then we cut to Obadiah, which is the Pike's homeworld. Wild to just like cut all of a sudden. We've been on the same planet this whole time, and then without even like not title card or anything, we just cut to another planet with no warning. Where we catch up with the Pikes.
Mm-hmm.
Everything's green there. That's how you know.
I
it's
noticed
Obadiah.
a lot of green in this episode. Even
green.
like on Janix, I noticed a lot more green in these episodes. Like the first few, I noticed more blue, and then this episode, I.
Do you think there's any symbolism there?
I don't know. Okay. I thought maybe just because what's his name wasn't it a little bit more the Jedi Daki, and like he's kind of green, and I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. But they both have blue
Pikes
lightsabers.
too.
So I don't
they
know.
do, yeah. So I was like, I don't know. I just noticed more green light in this, but it could just be because the Pikes too, though.
Maybe it's
Being an
the
Obadiah.
blue turning darker shades, right?
Yeah, sure.
I don't know how that works. You have to add yellow to blue to make green, and
Yeah, blue and red makes purple. So
oh
if we
yeah,
were doing
well,
light
yeah,
and
but
dark
we're
side,
not. Yeah, but there's no purple, so
yeah. So I don't know.
Okay. Anyway, so Ludi says he wants to express grave regret. He's putting on his best like corporate voice, by the way, here. He blames rogue lieutenants loyal to Demas who are trying to cause trouble.
Yeah.
Easy to blame the dead guy.
Yeah, right.
But also believable, I think, right? He promises in his best business voice that he'll personally deliver the missing payments and the value of the lost cargo. Be a lot of credits to make up for it.
Yeah.
Krim, who's sitting on his throne, threatens to torture him and feed him to his Nexu horde if it's a trick.
Sounds scary.
And that seems fair to Ludi, which is funny. By the way, we didn't really mention it, but like Ludi's whole thing is that he like talks when he's nervous, and it's
rambles.
It's a little. It's funny sometimes, but it's also kind of annoying. So as I'm kind of on the fence about that. Because what is it she says? Like, do you ever stop? He's like, oh, stop talking? No, I never.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He seems kind of more. He's not the big tough.
What kind of crime boss is this? Like,
well, that's what I mean.
Not, yeah.
I was supposed to say he's not like the big tough scary crime boss. He's like the weaselly, good at talking, good at talking his way out of things. Crime boss.
Right. And he doesn't have his droid body, so
no,
he doesn't really have it.
So
really
yeah, like he's kind of like the crime boss that's kind of got to use.
He's more the snake in the grass type.
Yeah. Where he's like, oh, look at me, I'm just little and chatty, like, ooh, sorry, like kind of like acts like he's bumbling.
But it's
like
actually like a schemer.
Yeah, way more of a schemer than like a big brute kind of.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so police headquarters, Chief Kleiss, that's who the woman is. Chief Kleiss comes to Lawson, telling him that Two Boots went over his head to request Imperial reinforcements.
She just rats on him.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because it's like, who are you? Like, the droid is coming to me before Lawson. It's like that's a problem, right? Mm-hmm. He's like, get your droid under control.
Yeah.
But again, like I love how this stuff. Cause it's like it's all very like cliche, like cop drama stuff. It's like get your partner under control. Mm-hmm. He can't be going over your head. Coming to me. You know, so they both agree that they don't want the Empire on Janix. Again, it's very funny to me. It's like every time the Empire's talking about it, it's like, yes, we can all agree. Nobody wants the Empire, except for unless Two Boots is involved. And he's like, are you sure? It does seem like it's the right thing to do.
We should probably call them.
Yeah. He's like, yeah, but how about now?
Things are out of hand.
How about now?
Yeah.
Now?
I keep seeing
now
all the other droids and a bunch of your own human guys dying.
Everyone's dying.
Yeah.
And you know how I feel about droids being deactivated. So.
Yeah, right.
Right.
Which is kind of wild because, like, in true fashion, if that many cops were dying,
oh yeah,
like,
no, it would be huge.
Maybe you should call it
massive
the FBI.
News.
At this
I mean,
point.
like this would be for sure. This is like is way beyond the scope of a local police department.
Of course, yeah.
Even one as like well equipped as maybe Janix's is.
Yeah.
That being said, it's like the chief even knows it's like if they call the Empire, they can all be out of work. Like
that's true. Yeah.
It's not even like as simple as like, oh, we just don't want the oversight. It's like they'll come in here and replace us.
Yeah.
So, Two Boots is assigned to desk duty, which is funny. We also see Two Boots is like doing like desk work, and he like covers up like a picture on a desk
Yeah,
that
he's
he
like,
has
he's
of
mad or something.
him and his
yeah.
partner. And I can't tell if that's maybe intentional or unintentional, but it's funny that a droid has a picture of his partner on his desk.
It's very cute.
I think it's funny.
Yeah. Because they're buddies.
Yeah,
they're, buddy
friends.
cops.
They're
yeah.
friends. They're friends. It's a good. It's classic buddy cop stuff for sure.
Yeah.
Back with Maul and Devin. This episode's taking a long time. She reaches the top end of the shaft or whatever that she's going up to, sees light, but is cut off by Maul and his shadow again. This is the third time they've used Maul's shadow overlapping.
Oh yeah, with his horns
over Devin, and I feel like you've used it 3 times. That's probably enough now.
True.
He
You're
says,
really driving that in.
yeah. And so she says, "I'm not afraid of you." And Maul's response is, "It's not that you are afraid, it's that you are weak." Right?
Mm-hmm.
Again, really hammering home this idea that I can make you strong, and that I can make you strong enough that you will never be afraid of anyone. Right? Then we get our first lightsaber duel of this series, which is awesome. We didn't get that many in Bad Batch, but we're back to probably, I guess, a higher percentage. We've seen a lot of lightsaber use, but not a lot of dueling, so we get a duel here. Maul uses Dooku's dueling form and taunts her about her lack of destiny or hope.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have either. You don't have a destiny or any hope, and that she's wasting her gifts. She does this really cool spinning get-up thing. It's really badass.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's like I think it's an actual thing that people can do. Like if you're like a really strong martial artist.
Oh, okay.
Where you can like spin your body and like use that as a way to get back up. It's really cool.
Yeah.
It's very Jedi smooth, cool stuff,
mm-hmm.
in my opinion. As the duel gets more intense, we hear a section of the Mustafar fight theme, and this is where I was talking about at the beginning of the episode. So we hear the dun 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 before the boop 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 boop.
Right.
Boop, boop. And then we hear that
Like
boop
you
boop.
wrote that
Yeah,
out.
that boop boop bada boop boop.
Yeah.
We hear the boop boop bada boop boop actually in the next episode during the standoff with the cops. So they're really layering in the Mustafar fight scene here, like that music, and I don't know if I can't remember. I'm sure it has a name, it's like Mustafar Duel or something.
Yeah, I don't know.
But it's the Obi-Wan and Anakin theme. So invoking Obi-Wan, right? Here's obviously fascinating for Maul, but then also like the fall to the dark side, all that stuff.
Yeah.
It makes sense to me.
They're
I'd like
mirroring
the
that,
layering in of the leitmotifs there.
Yeah.
Because I actually was watching the episode, and my girlfriend can attest because she was sitting there watching, but not really engaged necessarily. But I heard the dun 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 dun, and then as the show continued, I went boop 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 boop.
Yeah.
I like did the extra bit, just for my own edification. It was fun.
You gotta.
Yeah. Your life is in ruin, says Maul as he kind of like has her dead to rights. Several times he has her or somebody dead to rights and doesn't.
Every time he like has her in a spot where like he could have killed her, he like says something. Right. Like it's like 2 or 3 times that he's
Anyway, she taps into her rage here. She really freaks out. She does the backwards leap, which is cool as hell because it's also the thing that cut him in half that he wasn't ready for.
He's ready for it now.
Which he's ready for now. And then she gets a force push, and the force push sounds is really like they use this like sound of like almost like a sonic boom type sound, and it's really cool, and it like pushes him back, and then this gives her like a pathway to escape, so she runs off, and before she does, he uses the force to pull his lightsaber back out of her hand, saying that he's going to need to know that, and then reveals that he knows her name. And then we cut to credits, and we've been going for an hour and a half, and we've only finished one episode. I thought this was going to be faster. I apologize. I feel like the second episode doesn't have as much.
It doesn't have as much.
So we'll rush through that. Any final thoughts on this first episode?
No, I really liked. I think this one was my favorite out of the two episodes. There's a lot of like just. Cool
I
stuff
agree. In it. Yes, I agree because it's like they've got the intercutting stuff that's happening. I think keeps the momentum going a little bit better. We get this like first like true tete-a-tete between Devin and Maul.
Yeah, all the Devin and Maul stuff is really, really
obviously
cool,
we get a really cool fight sequence. The duel is great, I think, here. It's fun watching Maul use only a single bladed lightsaber.
Yeah. True.
Instead of a dual bladed one. They mentioned this in the Screen Crush video, but like using someone else's lightsaber is difficult,
Right.
as it to begin with, but using it against their owners is even more difficult. So
I would assume like particularly with a Sith lightsaber too.
right,
though.
so you're using someone else's lightsaber, a Sith's, and it happens to be their own lightsaber.
Yeah.
So it's like you're at a massive disadvantage
Yes.
from it in that
And
perspective.
it's full of their own dark side energy too that
Right.
you're like not connected with yet, right? So
Well, can she obviously taps into it to some degree?
Yeah.
Get the
you think it kind of
the
like corrupts
whispers.
her a little bit.
Yeah,
like
there's a
that's
little
kind
bit
of
of that.
what they're getting at is like it's when
It's a-
she rages out.
right.
a
It's
little
both
bit more,
him, the thing
but-
he's saying,
Yeah.
and then also her touching the dark side.
Mhm.
There is like enough to like let it in a little bit.
Yeah.
you know?
Exactly. So very cool.
What is it that Yoda says? It's like once you start down the path, it only leads to pain and misery, right?
Yeah.
So she
Mhm.
started down the path. So look for some pain and misery in her future.
Yeah, I'm always curious with like the lightsabers, especially the dark side ones, about like kind of how similar it is to the wands in Harry Potter. Like about
I
like
think
how
more
the
similar than
wands are
you think.
kind of loyal to their
Yes.
owner and yada yada yada.
Well,
like,
remember
a little
they
bit of that.
explored this in the Mandalorian when
oh yeah, with the dark saber
when
specifically.
when he's practicing with the dark saber and he's like it's
Super
heavy
heavy,
and it's
yeah.
like all this stuff and it's like because he doesn't know how to channel the force energy.
The force energy into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so chapter 4. Chapter 4, Pride and Vengeance. Pride and Vengeance. Pride and Prejudice. Vengeance. We'll get there. A confrontation between Lawson and Maul threatens everyone. Directors Brad Rao and Nathaniel Villanueva. You'll recognize all these names from all of the animation series. Writer is single writer today. It's Amanda Rose Munoz, and the runtime is 24 minutes. We start on Obadiah. Ludi arrives on a transport and is cleared for landing very easily. Ludi eyes up his blaster before he lands. Nervous, very foreshadowing here about what's he going to do with that thing. The transport, his ship itself is pretty cool looking. It's like a Falcon style, Millennium Falcon style cargo ship, but it meets a TIE fighter with these like side panel things that are shaped like the TIE fighter wings, TIE bomber wings and stuff like that. So I don't know, cool looking ship. Never get tired of like the steam coming off the ship when they land. It's really cool.
Good effects.
Yeah, Ludi's droids unload the credits. The Pikes go to count them. Ludi tries to warn the Pikes that, quote, he's there.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay. How much of this is already the plan is what I want to know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I get the impression that he's in on it the whole time, I think. Or no, do you think or more likely Maul anticipated that Ludi was going to turn on him and had built that into the plan already.
Bit of like the anticipation of like Ludi like probably trying to like he's not
trustworthy.
He knows he's not trustworthy. So
right.
I will say, like, did you think it was actually Maul at first?
No.
I didn't either. I was like, that's not him.
There's no way. He doesn't move like that.
Yeah, that's what I said, because Adam and I were watching, and like right as soon as he got like stunned, I was like, that's not Maul. He's like, you think? I was like, no, it's one of the other Zabraks. I was like, he moves completely different. Like the striking, and like he was too heavy-handed.
Yeah.
And then he's like, oh yeah, I guess you're right. Like as soon as he took the hood off and stuff, he's like, but like at
nice.
first he kind of.
I told you so. Nice.
I was like, Maul wouldn't get caught like that either. Like,
no. He could sense that was happening.
But I was just like, even when I was watching him like get off the ship and start fighting him, I was like,
yeah, the Screen Crush video is really fun there because they say like, oh, they detect another life form on board because Maul is on the ship, but the guy comes from behind him. So it's like they're like, oh, they don't know there's actually two people. So Maul's on board. They detect Maul's life signs. But the Zabrak comes from above.
From above.
And behind.
I see.
So they're not like. So he's like, yeah, you're technically right. They're,
Well, that's why they don't detect two.
They don't exactly. So they're
I
like,
see.
their guard is down after they stun him.
But I thought that was fun because I was like, there's no way.
Yeah, it's also a smart move.
It is.
So
yeah.
This is where again I was like talking about this at the beginning. It's like this feels a little redundant. We've kind of seen Maul take down all of these crime syndicates before, so I'm not really that excited about it. It's like also nor do I really care who
Yeah.
controls the crime syndicates.
That is kind of why I like that they wrapped it up pretty early. Like,
yeah, let's just get
you
that
know,
out of the way and then get back to
Yeah.
all the fun stuff.
But yeah, and honestly, the way Maul does this one is fun.
Yeah, and
But-
sure, yes, and we'll get that to that.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously an allusion to one of the best Star Wars movies ever.
Yes, of course.
Okay. So they detect a life form. Before they can act, a hooded figure with a lightsaber jumps down from the top of the ship and takes out most of the Pikes before Ludi stuns Maul, quote unquote Maul, with his blaster. 3 stun shots, by the way, to take down a Zabrak. Pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Anyway, he's like, I want to take credit for bringing in Maul. Like, he's like, I had to do it. It's not my fault. Yada yada.
Mhm.
A lot of that. He's a lot of groveling. So we meet Mog Krim again. Says he knew about Maul and what was going on in Janix. Ludi says he had no choice. You know, he was like, and which is true. He was being held at gunpoint, basically. But hopes that presenting a captured Maul will kind of make up for it, which I think it would, if
Yeah.
that's actually what was going on. So Mog approaches with his lightsaber in hand, and it's revealed that it's not Maul, but one of Maul's Night brothers, posing as Maul, which pretty clever thing to do.
Yeah.
Pretty handy if you have people that look exactly
You look
you.
like you. You look
Yeah.
so much like you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, to the point where it's like, if you didn't know better, most people could easily mistake the two for each other.
Yes.
Like,
yeah.
a casual, just someone watching the show would be like, oh yeah, that's Maul.
Yeah.
And then they'd be like, no, his face markings are different.
Yeah. Yeah.
So also, yeah, like, I think this other Zabrak has like longer streaks that like lead up to his horns and stuff. So
Yeah,
that's cool.
yeah.
Anyway. Cool of Maul to give his lightsaber to one of his like fellow Night brothers.
Yeah.
And trusting him to be like, and also like pretty proficient with it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So maybe he's been training them, which is also
Because that's
cool.
that's what Adam said. Because he didn't
deflects a couple.
Because he fought well. Because
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, but it's a lot heavier handed. Is kind of the way I
Yeah.
explained it. Like almost like he's fighting
It's a
with like a
little clunky.
broadsword or
Yeah.
like, you know what I mean? I was like, it just didn't have the Maul flair. I was like, Maul would have like chopped those guys down in a second.
So
But-
the trap is sprung when he reveals that it's not actually Maul.
Yeah.
And then Maul enters from behind and pulls a Kylo Ren
Mm-hmm.
by turning on the lightsaber in someone else's hand
Yeah.
and then using that to. They should have gone the whole way and cut him in half.
Cut him in half, but they were like, oh, we've already done that, so
Yeah, but like, so what? They've
Yeah,
already
it's
this
fair.
whole thing they've already done.
Yeah.
So whatever. Let's just be. So anyway, it is obviously an allusion to that. Like, it can't not be.
of course, yeah.
Badass way of taking out your enemies,
Very cool.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And so he cuts him in half, then pulls the lightsaber in, back to two-sided, takes out all the rest of the
Mhm.
Pikes very easily, leaves
Yeah.
like 2 left alive.
He's getting a lot of use out of the breaking his lightsaber in half.
Yeah,
Pulling it apart.
yeah,
He's like,
tons.
oh, I like this now. There's a lot of
He's got a
different
lot of
things I can do
blood on
here.
his lightsaber over the first, like
Yes.
this first 2 weeks. It's like
so much.
a lot of killing with the lightsaber.
Yes.
And if you're into that kind of thing, you're really gonna like this show.
Yeah.
I'm not against it. It's cool, but
It's cool.
it's staggering. The body count is staggering, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, he leaves a few alive. Maul begins to monologue over Krim's body, even though he's dead. Love a good monologue to a dead body.
Got a bad guy monologue.
It's so good. I was alone and a week after the tragic events of Mandalore. Right. So again, after Order 66, he didn't have his lightsaber. He was
Yeah.
stranded on some random planet somewhere. No, he steals a ship. He's not.
He steals a
stranded.
ship. I think he went to the Pikes.
But he goes to the
and-
Pikes
for help. Yeah.
for help because he was like, he'd just talked to them and say, okay, hey, the Empire's forming. You got to go into hiding.
Yeah.
And then he goes immediately and talks. It's like we're talking like a couple days, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe less. And then immediately Mog tries to turn on him and kill him.
And kill him. Yeah. He's like, oh, you're not the strongest guy.
So we don't
around
know
these
how that
days?"
happens. Like, we're supposed to be led to believe that Mog tries to kill him and in the process believes that he killed him.
I don't think he knows that. I don't think he thought he was dead because none of these guys think that
Okay, so
Maul was
what's
dead.
the deal? So Mog tries to kill Maul and then he escapes and he's like, okay, well, at least he's out of my hair.
Yeah, I mean, maybe he was pretty wounded or something, and they're like, like he was beat down pretty hard, but like, because they knew, like Demas and Ludi, like Ludi's like, you know who'd be after you, and Demas is like, nah,
Right.
he's gone,
Right.
not dead.
Gone.
He just said he's gone.
Right. That's
so
true. That's
I
true.
don't think that any of them thought he was dead. I think they just thought he was beaten down and had no help and
Yeah.
had no lightsaber. So maybe that's also part of it.
Yeah, I mean, I guess
I mean,
so.
it doesn't really matter. He doesn't really need one, but
Yeah, no, he could easily. He could just needs a couple of pieces of
Snap
metal, and then he could throw those around and take people
and a
cut people's
door.
heads off. Yeah. So we find out. Guess what happened? Yeah. So he was betrayed by his syndicate. This is what happens, by the way, when you rule with pure fear and violence. That it doesn't. It's not a great leadership style because as soon as someone has the opportunity to depose you, they will.
They will, yeah.
So I love how it's like, this is what befalls everyone who betrays me. He's like, who are you talking to?
Mm-hmm.
I guess the other Pike that's there, and Ludi.
Yeah.
So Ludi's like ran off and is like watching from the shadows. And again, it's not clear if he's like, he knew this was going to happen or he tried to run away and escape. And it's like, now he can't because he's still just on Obadiah. But I guess he must be in on it somehow because he does come back to Janix with Maul.
Yeah, that's true. So maybe this was part of the plan all along.
Maybe.
But,
or he's fine with it because he knew he was going to do that. and
he'll deal with him later.
He's deal with him later.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's not clear.
Knows?
They don't really make that clear. It's a little bit of a plot hole, I guess. But anyway, he turns to the captain of the guard, Cult, and he puts him in charge, but warns him that he answers to Maul.
Mm-hmm.
Cut to title card. Anyway, we're done with the syndicate stuff, so I'm glad.
Yeah.
Any other thoughts on that?
No, I'm glad we're through it, and yeah,
Cool.
I was
Me
just
too.
like, yeah, it's all fine.
Okay,
it's
so he now controls the
Pikes.
the Pikes and I guess
Ludi.
Ludi's
Yeah.
smuggling operation. So he's kind of like working his way back up here.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're back to Janix, and we get shots of the moon again. They're both, it's only been like a day, so they're still kind of in crescent moon. Again, whether that makes sense or not is unclear. Again, we return to the lower levels. Devin is on the run. She looks down over a section of the lower city, cut to a busy market, where Master Daki enters a back alley. He senses Devin. They're reunited, and we get this like soft and warm music that's really nice and feels like... this is good, in my opinion, because we really got no sense of their relationship before they were separated, and I feel like that was really missing for me to care about what they were doing or what they were, why we should care about Devin or why we should care about the connection. What type of connection does Devin have with her master? Because not every Padawan and master have a good relationship, right? So it's like, do they get along? Do they agree on stuff? All we heard was them disagreeing about whether or not they should steal some fruit.
Yes,
right?
yeah.
So it's nice that there's this warmth here. They both genuinely seem happy to see each other again. This is probably one of the most dangerous things that's probably happened to Devin since Order 66, right?
Yeah.
And they enter this little like sewer hideout that they live in. Very Ninja Turtles.
Very Ninja Turtles, because I said he's Master Splinter.
Very Master Splinter coded.
Yeah, I was like, of course they're in the sewer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's got the hood and everything,
Yeah.
Or the
and
Batcave.
That's true.
Maybe it's the Batcave.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the hood and the staff.
And the staff that
really give Master
Splinter
Splinter. That and the tail.
Yeah, it's just the whole
everything
visual
about
of
it.
him.
Really, he just looks. It's like if instead of he's got the rat shape too, like a longer nose and everything. Yeah,
exactly.
100%. Okay, so Daki returns her lightsaber. I like this because this is like picking up on. She like folded up her cloak, her Jedi robes, and put her lightsaber in there and handed it to him before she was arrested.
Right. Yeah.
And so he held on to it. She thanks him, and she's like, "So how did you escape?" And she's kind of like, it was hard."
Yeah.
So kind of playing coy about it. Another one of those classic Jedi being turned to the dark side moments where you lie about your interaction with the dark side user.
Well, I stole his lightsaber and fought him and tried to kill him and
right.
Yeah.
I don't want to tell you about all the red flags that I'm setting off for you.
Exactly.
And so Daki believes that the Empire will arrive soon and that they should leave the planet immediately, which is the right decision. He's like,
yes.
He's smart enough to know that they should be like,
Get
the presence of Maul is going to bring lots of trouble and we don't want to be involved.
Mm-hmm.
But Devin urges them to stay, not for vengeance, but for justice.
Right.
That, really kind of like playing into Maul's hand here, right? Maul set her up, teed this up, right? Saying, you were the guardians of peace and justice,
And now you're not doing
and now
anything.
you're not. And now what are you? What good are you now?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And so she's saying like, no, we can bring him to justice, and by doing so, prove that the Jedi aren't
Yeah.
useless anymore.
Yeah.
Right. I was thinking about how that line from one of the few good lines from the Obi-Wan series where like the Grand Inquisitor is like, is it the Grand Inquisitor? One of the Inquisitors is like, you can use the Jedi's weakness for kindness for others or whatever against them. It always, reveals them to, for when we're looking for them. So
yes.
she uses the same tactic here, basically saying there are good people here. We can't just leave them to be terrorized by Maul. And that works on Daki, who's obviously like a
old school. Yeah.
Have to stand up for the weak and downtrodden.
Yeah.
He makes a point like, hey, we don't fill that role anymore. We're not.
Yeah, it's
space
like not our
cops anymore,
job. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And we need to look out for ourselves. But then when she's like, well, sure, you can be selfish if you want, or we could do the thing that we were trained to do.
Yes.
And that obviously is like his weak spot, right? Like, oh, we could bring someone to justice. One of the most dangerous Jedi murderers out there.
Yeah.
Sure. Right.
Yeah.
Anyway, Daki strengthens his resolve, and they agree that they should do something. They mention Captain Lawson, and then we cut to Lawson receiving a tip from Uncle Daki, which is a fun little this came directly to you from an Uncle Daki. I didn't know you had an uncle.
Yeah.
So it has Maul's location. It's an abandoned section of the city.
As always.
Yeah, there's always
some
section.
abandoned warehouse.
Yeah, it really reminded me of the look of that Sith pyramid in Rebels.
Yeah.
Like this big inside space with a bunch of abandoned buildings.
Yeah.
It's dark, right? So I love this section because it's like, let's skip over all protocol. He's like, I know Maul's location. You just immediately trust the information, which I think fair enough. I think he's like
from Daki. I think he's
like, okay, fair enough. We can't wait on this. And then goes to the chief and is like, I need a strike team right now based on, she doesn't even ask where she gets the information, where he got the information from. Just, sure, you're approved. Just make sure you get him this time.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's kind of your last chance.
Right.
But...
So maybe these cops deserve to be overruled because they're not very good at their job. And they don't really report to anyone. So it's like, I guess the governor, they report to the
whoever the governor is. But
do you think we'll learn about, we'll meet the governor now that the Empire's involved?
Maybe.
Interesting. Two Boots learns the news and wants to immediately alert the Empire because that's all he's good for. Lawson literally rolls his eyes here. He's like, oh my God, please, enough.
With the Empire. Yeah.
Two Boots heads off to do it himself, but for good this time. Like, no, this time for real. And then he says, your abuse of protocol potentially places yourself and your squad in terrible danger. And he's right.
He is right.
He's right about that, but he doesn't understand the nuance of if you involve the Empire, it's not just going to be myself and my squad who I'm putting in danger, who these people at least elected to put themselves into the line of fire. Whereas if you bring the Empire in, every citizen is going to now be, worse off.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, he doesn't understand that.
He doesn't understand that.
He is like, we are breaking protocol.
By the books. Yeah,
we keep breaking protocol.
You gotta have someone who's by the books, I guess. Right?
Yeah.
So Lawson deactivates him.
Yeah, he unplugs him.
But also honestly, what he should have done is gone to his chief and said, "Hey, I deactivated Two Boots. He's in that booth over there.
Yeah.
Don't turn him on. Don't let anyone turn him on. He's trying to warn the Empire. We can't let that happen."
That's true because the police captain is on his side.
Yeah, and she brings backup.
Yeah.
And they would have maybe if they'd all come at once originally, then there wouldn't have been a problem. But he only brings one squad. So
yeah.
Anyway, someone obviously finds him and turns him back on, and then immediately calls the Empire into action.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess the other thing you could say is that potentially the chief does find him and then is agrees with him that they do need to call the Empire because it's out of hand.
Yeah, maybe at this
point. And then that's what happens. But you don't get the sense that that's exactly what happened. Maul's HQ. Devin plays. This is basically everything happens at this location for the rest of the episode. Devin paces back and forth as Master Daki and her wait and watch over the hideout. He's basically preaching patience, trust me, we can't. I like how he's like, we can't ever know for sure something's going to happen, but I'm pretty sure we can trust this Captain Lawson to act on the information. Lawson and his squad, by the way, smart of them to not just be like rush in and try to deal with Maul on their own.
Yeah.
Instead, they call the cops and then use that as an opportunity to take on Maul one-on-one.
Right, yeah.
Lawson and his squad arrive, mostly droids, though there is some other actual officers involved.
Right.
They send in a drone to scout ahead. I like this, like, they got, like, a drone droid. It's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's funny. I can't tell if the drone itself is its own droid or being controlled remotely by the droid with the pad at the bottom.
I don't know.
But I think the idea is funny they have the technology to make a droid who can control a drone with a pad, but not an autonomous drone.
An autonomous drone, yeah.
So anyway, it's
too much money. I don't know.
We wasted it all on giving these robots the ability to not follow orders.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's funny. Why would you ever make a police droid that doesn't follow orders? Anyway.
Yeah. Because sometimes the orders are different than the protocol.
Yeah.
Julian.
You got to be able to. They have to be able to read between the lines.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to do things outside the book, right?
Exactly.
Although Two Boots again seems like he wants to break the rules to follow the book. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, they approach carefully. They have another squad in support. I always love like the tension setting with police squads coming into position. It's always fun.
Mm-hmm.
Ludi appears with a hollow of Maul so they can communicate. And Maul says that he's come to suspect that Captain Lawson is a man of honor and intelligence based on his like one interaction that they spent together. Believes that they have the cops outmatched, which they I think do.
Yeah.
They might not have the numbers, but there's like 4 Mandalorians and
with bazookas and Gatling guns.
Yeah, and 2 Night Brothers and a Jedi basically.
Yeah. It's like
it's not a great deal. Although I do, gotta respect the balls on Captain Lost. He's like, I wouldn't be so sure about that. Maul wants to make him a deal, right? This is what you call a poison pill, right? You can't accept this offer without suiciding yourself, basically.
Right.
So I offer my protection, he says, which is a great line to say to a cop.
Yeah.
And again, they both want to avoid imperial involvement. I like when they say imperial entanglements better, but it's fine. They, which again, everyone's on the same page here. You have to choose to disregard. You have chosen to disregard imperial protocol, and as I said, a man of intelligence. I love that line. It's like, see, you're smart enough to know that the Empire's not good.
Trying to fluff
Therefore,
him up a little
you
bit.
have my respect. Yeah. He says he promises to leave the city alone if they're allowed to operate peacefully without the Empire's, involvement. Now, this is interesting because it seemed like Ludi and Demas had to deal with the cops to not be.
I don't know if they had to deal with the cops. I think
they had a deal between themselves.
Yeah, when they're talking about the like truce or whatever, I think it was between the syndicates.
Okay.
It didn't have anything to do with the cops because, like I said, in that graphic novel that they first introduce Ludi or not Ludi, where they first introduce
Demas and Ludi,
Lawson. Demas tries to kill Lawson.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, tries to fuck him up.
Okay.
So it's not.
So
yeah.
Here's what I'm thinking then, like. So Lawson says, I can't accept this offer, obviously.
Yeah.
Right? But if you're thinking maybe like more like 3D chess, like you want to be more strategic, the move is to accept the offer, right? Regroup.
Right.
And then try to disrupt the operations in a less violent way.
Well, it's kind of like when you think about the times of I don't know, like New York and Boston when they had the like mob bosses and there were cops and the cops knew the mob guys were doing bad shit, but they like, you know what I mean?
Because like he's making the deal's like we're not going to destroy the city, which is what they were worried about.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like, okay, so no, of course you don't want drug runners running amok on your city.
You don't want a full crime syndicate in your city either.
But
like,
you don't want to bring, if you can avoid a gun, like a shootout, I think you probably want to do it. So it's like, if I'm Lawson, I say, I don't know if I'm ready to accept the deal now, but let's agree to meet and discuss the terms.
Yeah.
Right? But for now, we go our separate ways for now,
Mm-hmm.
right? That being said, he feels under pressure to deal with the situation immediately.
Yeah, I think that's part
But
of it.
it is reckless.
Yes.
Regardless of how he wants to think about it, it is a reckless maneuver.
Yes, it is.
So
With the state of the standoff as it is right now, but yeah, you're right. I do think he's thinking about his police captain basically saying, like, this
time
is our
get
last
him.
shot, and if we
Yeah.
don't, like, you know.
Right, but it's like it's just extremely, like, you're really risking the lives of a lot of droids, I
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah, when he goes, tells him to die well. I'm like, ooh.
Ew, die well. He does tell him this. Okay, so meanwhile, Devin and Docky search for Maul, as does the drone. Lawson declines the deal, but offers to take them. He offers a different deal. He's like, if you guys surrender, I will put you under my protection,
ever gonna surrender.
and we will try you under Janix law, not Imperial law.
Yeah.
By the way, seems like a pretty hardcore police state city. I don't know how lenient their laws are compared to the Imperials. Probably more so than the Imperials,
Well,
but like
yeah.
not that much. More probably.
I love how, like, Maul is like, how about this? We leave each other alone. And then his counter is like,
how about you
how
surrender?
about you surrender and I put you in jail?
I love how he's like so
Like,
tired of being asked. People asking him to surrender. He's like, ugh, another person asking me
like,
to surrender.
You know, Lawson, you could have offered, like, how about you leave?
Yeah.
Like, leave. You get all your guys. You get out of here.
Right. You leave the
Yeah.
leave
Janix alone.
Leave Janix, and then it's someone else's problem.
Yeah.
Right.
Not.
But no. Just surrender.
Let me take you in.
Take another deal that you like can't accept.
Yeah.
Right? So I admire your spirit, Captain. Die well,
You're like, "Ooh."
which is pretty badass thing
It
to
is
say.
a badass thing to say.
So shootout happens. I love how it starts immediately, where, I think Rook probably shoots the droid standing right next to Lawson.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, okay, then they all get into action right away. But it's like, it's a pretty like shocking moment because it happens so fast.
It's so fast.
And it's like a bullet right to someone's head.
Mhm.
And so it's like very cool.
Mhm.
Anyway, so all hell breaks loose on this like steps of this, like whatever this building is. There's a lot of droids being shot down. The like, what's it called? Droid that's like looking for Maul finds him, but he crushes it with the Force. Always very cool.
Mhm.
But either way, they don't know where he is. Devin and Docky at the same time find Maul, and this is like we get another duel here. This is all very again cliche, I guess you could say, from a Star Wars perspective. Like we've kind of seen these types of fights before, right?
Yeah, the old master, the young Padawan.
Yeah, fighting
the
off
strong
against a Sith, right?
Yeah.
And like the same types of methods are used where like
Mhm.
Docky and Devin try to like stay together and like team up essentially.
Yeah.
Whereas Maul's whole strategy is to keep them separated.
Split them up, yeah.
Right?
Get
And so,
in between them and
yeah.
kind of like deal with one, go back, deal with the other.
one at a time.
Yeah.
So I like how Maul introduces himself. He's like, and you must be Master.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's like, and then Docky even he's like, yes, my name is Master Docky.
It's like, oh,
it's a
very
pleasure
cordial.
to meet you.
Yeah.
It's like this is like they all set their stuff aside and have a nice little proper duel.
Mm-hmm.
They did say it was a more civilized age. So
Yeah.
just as I hoped, you brought your master again. Obviously, like this is right into Maul's plan, which is, and they put this out in the YouTube video, the Screen Crush stuff. But it's like it provides an opportunity for Devin to see both sides of the argument.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So they get to have this philosophical, debate basically.
Right.
I love how he's like shocked. Oh, you've come to kill me.
Mm-hmm.
Like you didn't come to arrest me. You came to kill me.
Yeah.
Which I think he's maybe surprised by in two ways, which is like he thought maybe he had planted the idea of justice.
Right.
And the Jedi version of justice is not to just kill your opponent.
No.
But also the balls on them to be like, oh no, we're just going to come and kill you.
I also think he's like a little bit pointing out the hypocrisy to her though. He's like, you're here to kill me.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So it's a little bit of the like, oh, okay, like
I see. Murder's cool as long as it's killing a murderer.
Yeah, it's like,
I get
so
it.
you can kill me and you can be a murderer. But
Yeah.
so yeah, I do think because he is trying to like drop again.
Yes,
he's
it's a
putting
lot of
more drops
seeds.
in the bucket,
Yeah.
right? So
He's planting seeds. Okay, so I like how Docky's like, well, you made an offer to the captain, so I'm gonna do you the same favor. If you surrender, it's like, oh God.
Everyone's just like, let me arrest you.
Great idea. He's like, a great line from Maul here. When was that passive ideology ever served the Jedi?
Yeah.
Like, hey, here you are. The Jedi Order has collapsed. You've been trying the same shtick for 1,000 years.
Doesn't work.
To be fair, though, it did work for over 1,000 years.
That's
so
true.
pretty good track record, but not a recent good track record.
Mm-hmm.
Really, what have you done for me lately? Is really what he's saying. And Docky's like, you will find justice even in times as dark as these, right? So they've kind of morphed their version of justice into the kind of Clone Wars version of justice, which is summarial execution.
Yes.
But again, Maul kind of has it coming, so it's hard to be like, yes, such hypocrites. But like,
yeah,
the Jedi are shown to be hypocrites all the time, so it's not really like that shocking to me. If anything, it seems fair to come to Maul and be like, yo, dude, your time's up.
Yeah.
They say that they are like, they've survived, they might not be the same as they were before, but they're surviving. Maul makes the whole argument like, oh, surviving versus living. It's like, are you really living though? Right? And Docky has a great rebuttal. Is like, we have different definitions of what it means to live, which I respect. Right. I think that's like a very like good Jediism, which is a term I've coined, where it's like, here's this thing that's this like platitude or an idiom or this like something that seems obvious, but when like framed in this way, like comes across as wise, right?
Right.
And so it's like, yes, your idea of living might not be the same as mine, but that doesn't make it any less valuable. Our powers are meant to be used in service of others, Docky points out, which of course is a rule of the Jedi, right? It's, only for defense, never for attack.
Right.
That they're there to protect and serve, right? Classic cop stuff.
Yeah.
Not as much the way it is now. But Maul believes that they've deluded themselves into believing that they're not better than those around them because of their power. So it's like, hey, you are self-deluded, not because of the way that I think, which is that I'm better than everyone and therefore deserve to be, that might is right, and that because I'm smarter and stronger than everyone that I deserve to be in charge. That you too are smarter and more powerful than everyone, and that you too deserve to be in charge.
Yeah.
And respected and all these things. And that not believing that is like crazy to him. It's like it makes no sense to me that you would go around the world, all these powers, and not doing it, not using them for anything.
Yeah.
And again, it's just like, it's your unwillingness to use your power that makes you weak, he says. And a great, clap back from Master Docky. That is your delusion, right? Again, this like, you are indoctrinated in your own way. We see the world completely differently. Yeah,
I've seen like you have to use your power to take things, right? As opposed to keeping peace and saving things. Yeah.
So we got another saber duel. Always fun to see more lightsabers. Also fun that Maul calls them lightsabers, whereas Lawson calls it a laser sword. I just like that, like, he uses the proper terminology because he's a stickler for that kind of thing.
Of course, yeah.
So Docky and Devin work in tandem. Maul works to keep them separated. There's this very cool moment where Devin gets like thrown and she uses her lightsaber in the ground.
Oh yeah.
To like slow herself down. So badass. Anytime you can like drag, of course you've seen this with swords and other things and other media, but like a lightsaber going into the ground and like leaving like this like molten metal trail.
Cool. But also showing like how hard he threw.
Oh yeah, it's very
like,
cool.
Cool. Okay. Like
yeah. But yeah, badass. So she does that moment where she does the spin and then the jump over him and all that stuff in the force push, and then she has this moment where she does like pulls back. Maybe because she does seem pretty like proficient.
She does, yeah.
With her lightsaber combat. Maybe that's how they survived Order 66. They're like, we're actually pretty good. And
like I don't think she's like super like untrained Padawan. Like she
No,
seems like
she
she's
seems
like
pretty far along.
like Ahsoka level like ish.
I don't know if she's
maybe
that
not
far
quite
along.
as
She's
good,
probably
but-
like 5 years younger than Ahsoka is.
No,
at this
but
point.
I just mean in terms of like she's got the mechanics of fighting down
Mhm.
relatively like better
Mhm.
than like a shit young Padawan, but
That's true. Yeah, I mean, it's obviously like
not defenseless.
she's more capable than Ezra ever was.
Yeah.
I can tell you that. So meanwhile, back at the shootout, Lawson goes after Maul after a brief encounter with Rook. I like how they have this like little standoff. He kind of like tricks her by like throwing a shield at her and then like disappearing. Oh, by the way, the other thing that's very Batman-like is the way that Docky disappears when Lawson turns around, which is like a classic Batman and
thing,
Gordon thing, where like Gordon is like goes to answer a phone
Talking.
call and then turns around, he's gone.
and Batman's gone. Yeah.
So that's
That's
another
true.
one of those things. So here you have another great moment where he's like using his ingenuity. He like shoots down like scaffolding, and he uses the shield to like give himself
Yeah.
enough time to escape. Because I think the idea would be like he can't have a one-on-one with a Mandalorian. He would not
No.
survive that.
no.
So.
No.
So he goes after Maul, separates himself from the rest of his squad. Not necessarily the best captain. So meanwhile, Maul and Docky duel after Devin is knocked out of the fight for a moment.
Mhm.
Docky gets a hit in on one of Maul's legs.
Yeah.
and then
Right in his knee.
Yeah, and then they fight up scaffolding. I love.
Mhm.
Okay, so they're fighting up the scaffolding. The way that their lightsabers are going, they're going right through the scaffolding
Yeah.
the whole time. It's like
Mhm.
looks so cool.
It's very neat. Yeah. Man, I do love when people mess with Maul's legs, though, because you know how like pissed he gets
Yes.
because it's not just like
It's like it's a thing that makes him weak.
yeah, right. Like it's not just like an injury that he can kind of get over and ignore when it's your actual body.
Right.
It's like a mechanical failure, so it's
Yeah, it has to be repaired.
yeah. It's always interesting to me when that
He, roar! Well,
Yeah,
he
he just gets, like,
it
extra
empowers him
pissed.
with rage, and
yeah.
he pushes Docky off a ledge,
Mm-hmm.
and he gets pretty badly hurt. We're not sure how exactly, but we get the impression that it's like not great.
Not good.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he gets kind of like Maul kind of kicks him in the stomach, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah,
and
I
then
don't
he gets
know.
kicked in the stomach and then falls like I don't know, not
Mhm.
that far. Like we're talking maybe like a 5-foot drop
Yeah.
or
Yeah, I
something.
don't
Like
know.
it's not that far, but enough to injure him. He's older. I don't know.
He's old. He's a lizard.
We don't really know how old he is or how old
Yeah,
their
he looks
species lives too. Yeah, it's a new species created for the show, by the way.
Mhm.
Anyway, Maul goes in for the kill, but Docky is saved by Devin.
Mhm.
And we get this great line from Maul: "Your master is indeed fortunate to have you at his side."
Mhm.
Which again, the hinting here is that like I too would be fortunate to have you at my side.
Right.
Anyway, Spybot. Did we mention this last week? He has his own little catchphrase.
Yeah. Booshkadoo.
Booshkadoo.
Yeah, I know. He's so goofy.
It's so weird.
I love it.
Booshkadoo. Yeah.
I love it. It's so funny.
And then he's just one of those droids that can do anything because he creates like a smoke screen for everyone to escape.
Yeah, and that's a huge smoke screen to come out of that
Lots
little
of
guy.
smoke. Yeah,
It's like-
I was wondering about that. I was literally thinking, I was like, well, he doesn't have like a tank to store it, so maybe it's some sort of like chemical
Probably.
reaction that he's putting together. But it's like even then, it's like, how does that work
Powder,
exactly?
Dry ice. I don't
Yeah,
know.
and it like
Don't ask
spreads
me.
very fast.
It could just be
Um,
like, is that a sneeze?
I think it was a sneeze.
Okay.
Sneeze, a big sneeze from the dog.
Maybe he's just
Better
got
than a
like
fart.
2 little like vials of something. And
I don't know.
it
It's
makes
best not
it
to
goes
think about
poofy.
it. It's like, hey, the inside of the Millennium Falcon doesn't match the outside.
Like
so,
mustard gas. But
oh,
you know.
much less deadly.
Yeah. Or is it
Um,
chlorine gas
Oh,
that you can end up accidentally making?
yes, chlorine gas is easy to make.
It's
by
ammonia
accident.
and bleach. Yeah.
I think, by the way, that there was like a lockdown in the city like this week because there was a gas leak at a pool.
Mm.
And I was like, did they make chlorine gas by
Probably.
accident at their pool?
Probably.
I was like, that's crazy.
Most likely.
Like blocks and blocks were shut. Like people were like stay inside
Jesus.
because it was like there was a massive gas leak. So
Yeah.
and it's super deadly chlorine gas. So it's like
yeah, it's
anyway.
not good.
Be safe at home. You can make it at home. Don't is my reaction. My grandmother made it by accident once trying to clean.
Our friend Trish did that once cleaning her shower, and she just said that's how you know it's cleaning good. When I was like,
When
stop.
it's peeling the inside of your
We
lungs.
told her, we're like, you can't use ammonia and bleach to clean your shower. She's like, yeah, but that's how you know you're getting the good clean when you start to feel dizzy.
Oh my god. She's like, she's not dead.
I know. That's what we said.
Okay.
Girl, you're gonna kill yourself.
That is one wild person. Okay, so Booshkadoo and they take off. Nothing like
in the smoke.
There's nothing more classic Maul than leaving mid-fight.
Taking off in the smoke.
Yeah. Maul leaves with his crew, making a show of not killing Devin, leaving the two Jedi alone as Lawson arrives. He spots their blue sabers and he says, "Why didn't you tell me you were a Jedi?"
Mm-hmm.
And Docky's like, "I think it's pretty self-evident why I wouldn't tell you that."
Yeah.
And then he like thinks about it and he's like, "Oh, okay, I'll let you guys go before backup arrives." Again,
Yeah.
classic Batman stuff here, right?
Yeah. Get out of
So,
here, Batman.
yeah.
You caused a lot of problems.
Right. Anyway, more cops arrive with the chief, but they're too late. And they're like, anyway, the battle's over. We cut to Spybot. Like, there's a bunch of really quick cuts here. Like, seeing Spybot, he goes up to like the surface and he hears like some sounds. They're very like Imperial droid, probe droid sounds, and he's like, "Uh-oh."
Yeah.
And then we cut to Maul, who closes off their escape with the Force by crashing the roof down.
Yeah, because his knees still.
And yeah, his knees he gets all upset about his knees. And then we hear from Rook, something is happening, which I think is like set up this whole big like dramatic entrance for the Empire.
Yeah.
Here. But it does seem pretty obvious what's about to happen.
Of course, yeah.
Devin checks on Docky, who looks pretty badly hurt, and he says, "I'm sorry I failed you." Nothing more classic than a Jedi Master saying, "I failed you."
Yeah.
I failed you, Anakin. I failed you.
Mm-hmm.
Lawson looks at the aftermath. Several cops on stretchers. We're not clear if they're dead or alive, but showing the wreckage, which I appreciate the show doing.
Yeah.
He apologizes to Two Boots for deactivating him, and then we get this great line: "I forgive you, Captain. I hope you can forgive me."
And you're like, "Oh, he
bum,
did
bum,
it."
Bum. Yeah,
He
it's
did
like,
it.
oh, so he was finally out of his sight for 2 seconds, so he was able
Yeah.
he was able to contact the Empire, and then everyone's comms start going off as we
like they're all blinking.
yeah. As they cut to the sky outside, as it's darkened by a familiar triangular shape, a Star Destroyer arrives overhead to the sound of a distorted Imperial March. And this might be one of the coolest versions of the Imperial March we've ever heard. It's very cool. I love the synth. I love synth in general, and there's some really sick synth here.
Yeah.
Over top of or layered in over top of the Imperial March. So the Empire's here. As Maul pointed out earlier, if they had called them, they would have been there already. It doesn't take very long. We're talking like minutes. And this is like a mid-rim planet, so I'm not really sure where they're getting, where they're coming from, but probably not Coruscant. I feel like it would take more than like 10 minutes to get there, but they don't really that consistent with their travel times in Star Wars, so I wouldn't.
Yeah, we don't really know how long it took Two Boots to get turned back on,
but
call and all that, but
it's assuming it was the entire length of that gunfight, like an hour.
Yeah, maybe.
So it's like that's not a lot of time.
That's true.
I don't know. Anyway, the Star Destroyer arrives. It looks very cool. No one's happy about it. Only Two Boots. Two Boots is stoked, but everyone else is annoyed.
Yeah.
So I guess what we're going to see next week, and I'm really hoping for, is something similar to what happened when the ISB took over the Corpo cops in Andor.
Yeah. Yeah.
That
For
whole bit, and like exploring how that all works and the dynamics of them taking over for the local Janix police force and everything. So I'm excited to see how that all pans out. Curious to see if we'll see in the first episode of the two, if we'll see an Inquisitor or if it'll wait until the next one. We have the title of the episode is pretty obvious. Like,
I would assume if they know it's Maul, they're gonna send an Inquisitor.
You think they wouldn't
right away?
I'm surprised they didn't send Vader right away. Like, I know he's busy, but like,
yeah, I feel like they.
What's a bigger target than Maul?
I don't know. More Jedi.
I feel like Maul is more dangerous to the Empire than a few Jedi.
Yeah, maybe.
But it's okay. So the first one is called Inquisition, so we'll get a Inquisitor
we'll
right
get
away.
Inquisitors.
And then Night of the Hunted, I guess, will be maybe more about. Do you think that Jedi and Maul have to team up to avoid getting taken down by the Inquisitors? That'd be cool.
Probably.
I'm always down for a team up out of necessity.
I would assume.
Yeah.
Yes, but
okay. Right.
I wonder because we see Marok, he shows up.
What's his deal? Is he still? Do you think he's
that's
still a
the
proof
thing.
of smoke?
I was gonna say, do we think he's a ghosty yet, or does Maul kill him?
Yeah, maybe he gets killed and he's like, and then he turns into a poof of smoke.
brought back into a ghosty because he's by Ahsoka. He's a weird
There's another podcast
don't
listener,
know
they
what.
call him a gas bag.
gas bag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is funny.
All right, we'll see. We'll see if he's corporeal or not.
Yeah.
So
I would hope so at this early on, like to set up this character, like give us a
Yeah.
bit more understanding of what that is or what the
Yeah.
hell's going on there. Anyway, this looks like it's setting up for a pretty exciting 2-episode block next week. So that's
I'm
next
excited.
Monday.
Love Inquisitors.
We'll be back either Tuesday or Wednesday to record
Mhm.
and dive into all of the inquisitorious action and all the Imperial mucking about
Yeah.
that they're going to be doing. It's exciting. This is like we're getting into the thick of it. This is Mark's halfway next week. So
Yes.
and then we'll have another 2 weeks after that to really wrap things up in I think an interesting way. There is a second season, so it's like it's not going to be like a condensed story in that way. And I think they knew that going in. So I wouldn't be surprised if things don't like get completely wrapped up by the end of the season. But
Yeah.
either way, some cool stuff to come, and still opportunity to have Maul fight Vader, which I think would be cool as hell, and I think a missed opportunity if it doesn't happen. So
Yeah, I think we'll get it at some point.
Yeah.
So
okay, or do you think it'll be another? Would it be Maul and her new apprentice versus Vader and Sidious? That would be cool.
yeah, I don't know.
That would be cool because
Maybe.
Sidious is obviously weakened now, so he'd be a little bit more
'Cause-
like harder to deal with. But with Vader there, and then a apprentice of Devon's stature, maybe it balances out. more.
Maybe because isn't it like in Rebels when Vader shows up, Maul like gets out. He's like, I'm not fucking doing this because he knows. So I wonder if we get to see something in this.
That like sets that up why he
Yeah.
would feel why he'd be afraid of Vader.
why he would know like I can't.
I can't handle Vader. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like only my legs are robot, not half my
Yeah.
body.
Yeah.
Or actually, it is half his body.
Mhm.
More than half, not more machine than man.
More machine than
I'm
man.
only half machine
yeah.
than man.
Yeah, so we'll see. I don't know. I would
Yeah.
love to see a Vader fight. So
Yep,
you know,
agreed.
some people say we've done too many, but
Some
I don't
people,
care.
some people say we might have done already too many hallway fights in this
Yeah,
series
in the
alone.
series in general.
But we'll. I'm
Yeah.
always down for some more cool lightsabers if they can make it make sense, which they usually can.
Yeah,
I'm down for it. And like bad guys fighting bad guys, it's like the stakes are so low. It's like who gives a shit? It's just fun to watch.
yeah,
So.
exactly.
Okay. Well, on that note, I have nothing else to say. Anything else you have to mention? All right. Kudos to anyone who's stayed around this long. We'll try to be less than 2 hours next week, but no promises. All right. We'll be back next Wednesday or next Tuesday with live on Twitch and YouTube. But until then, may the Force be with you.